Welcome in to the Jordy Culotta Show.
Wave your hand out there, baby!
Shout out to the show.
She puts the pinky into the nostril. Man, look at that.
Healthy competition, there's nothing like it.
Y'all grow up.
The line's wrapped around the stadium.
Different strengths. I just lost a tooth.
It's gonna be fun.
You know, we might have a story.
I love what you're doing.
Ogeron wants to take us fishing this afternoon.
Sharif, you play for the bad boys of the SEC, man. We don't apologize to anybody.
A lot of people are saying you're going to be wearing number 7.
I don't really know. I want to.
He look crazy, Bill.
Good feet on the old man.
Definitely come back.
We'll be right back with the Jordy Culotta Show. Welcome in to the Jordy Culotta Show live here on this Friday edition. Make sure to hit that like button, share button, comment button. The weekend, we finally made it. It is a home SEC game weekend in Baton Rouge, which means nobody is working on this Friday. Welcome to it. We got picks for you. We're going to go through some film with Coach Caskey. Another edition of Caskey Click, so it'll be at 7:30 this morning as Coach will look at the New Orleans Saints versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We'll look at a bit of Tom Brady. Won't go as long as we did yesterday, but we are definitely talking behind the scenes how we're going to make that a long-form edition for all of you X and O junkies out there that want to dive into it.
NFL
Clicks.
matchup, better watch out.
Absolutely, bro. Is phenomenal. If you missed it yesterday, go check it out. Always brought to you by RMB Builders. Our podcast, our on-demand section, always brought to you by RMB Builders. Check out rmb-builders.com. Their social media has been on fire lately. Check them out on Instagram, rmb-builders.com. Welcome to it, our Friday edition, just like every day, brought to you by Go Chevrolet. Check out our friends online at GEAUXChevrolet.com. And a new car lot out in LaPlace, Louisiana, with a used car lot over here in Baton Rouge at Go Express Auto Sales. It is a Friday edition. We'll be eating before we get out of here at 8:45 this morning. We'll look into some of the bigger games of the weekend. Some news coming out of College Station with Miami in town. Max Johnson, former LSU Tiger, is going to be the starting quarterback in College Station with the Hurricanes in town for Texas A&M. Jimbo Fisher made it official last night as the A&M Twitter account put it out last night that Max Johnson will be starting versus Miami. So we'll talk a little bit about that one as the number has shifted a little bit. Last night, if you were watching the NFL, backdoor cover for the Los Angeles Chargers.
Great for Trace.
Our friends over at Caesar Sportsbook had it 4.5 before the kickoff. We went in. Zach Ewing was here yesterday from The Advocate. We talked about this game. We liked KC going into it. Mahomes and the Chiefs really rolling in week 1.
4th and goal to get slaughtered.
But Justin Herbert
High point.
just playing, this
Hurt.
guy, man. Playing with a broke rib, couple of broke ribs, wheezing as he's breathing.
And we had a wiggly onside kick where they could have got the ball back. That thing was squigging around for a second.
Ooh.
Somebody get on it!
Jesus.
Whoa. Hey, you know who was balling last night? Willie Gay.
Yeah, Willie Gay was balling, and I thought Clyde played well last night.
Clyde,
Yeah.
always.
He was balling last
He
night.
finally, I feel like, I don't know if it's the absence of Tyreek Hill, but him finding, he's no longer like the 5th or 6th option. It's like,
Yeah.
we can get him the ball as a,
He's so
whether it be
versatile,
check.
man.
He
Yeah.
is,
God,
like,
he's so
versatile.
it felt, I don't want to say that they wasted him, but it felt like they just didn't know how to utilize him because,
Well,
like,
they
we
had
have so many weapons.
Yeah, right.
And now he's a featured guy, and the other guy wearing 10, who is
Pringle?
it's a 7th round pick. Sheesh, I drafted him too in fantasy. But either way,
guy.
like they're trying to utilize him a little bit in the running back game, and they got McKinnick back there. Like the Chiefs are stacked, and they're the least talked about team in the NFL.
They are. The dude that caught the pick 6 was a 7th round pick.
Wow. I didn't watch the game.
No.
I
Oh.
video.
It was.
Oh, you knew where my dog's at.
Yeah, no, we didn't do
No,
it.
they were delayed last night.
Yeah.
So Justin Herbert last night
Comes with the show.
3 touchdowns last night for Herbert. Herbert is phenomenal, man. I mean, just watching him play. He's definitely hurt for sure, but it is. I mean, he is just incredible to watch play. I'd say Kelly and I were kind of peeking at the game last night. We were out to eat, but we were watching some of the game, and I told her, I said, this is probably pound for pound, maybe Aaron Rodgers in the conversation, but just the most naturally skilled players at quarterback. Like Mahomes, that ball he threw for
Rolling
a touchdown,
right.
like falling almost forward. He just flicked that thing and hit that guy in the face 50 yards down the field. I mean, that was
the arm strength you have to like go sidearm, and he's not even using his arm. He's just flicking his wrist. He's he's almost subluxing his shoulder to try to get that thing out there. But you're right. The two, strictly off talent alone, those are the two probably most naturally gifted throwers of the football that you'll see. And Herbert did a great job of shifting the narrative yesterday, I would say, after the rib injury, and then he goes where he could have run for a first down, instead throws it out of bounds and grabs his ribs. You're like, I need something better for my quarterback. Comes back in on fourth and 8, and then throws that seed over the middle. And like, all right, never mind. Justin Herbert's back. Like, a lot of people would have slammed him for that if they don't get the fourth down. Instead, he's an absolute gamer. That's how it changes that quickly.
2 fourth downs later.
Yeah, the second fourth down was brutal for both of us.
27-24 last night, though. KC hangs on and wins. They moved to 2-0 right now over in the AFC. Saints going to be playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and as we said, Coach Caskey will be here at about 7:30, and we'll dive into some of Tampa Bay and some of the Saints before we get out of here at 9 a.m. this morning. LSU playing Mississippi State, and as we talked a little bit about it yesterday, the closer this game gets, the more insecure I get about how this game is going to shake out. I mean, when you just really start adding everything up and you just kind of go down the list of things that make sense in just football, right? The things that usually win in football. When you look at matchups and you just say, hey, what team has the most experience? What team has the most starts? What has the most guys that have played at this level and have really, kind of gotten some skins on the wall and paid their dues to get here? That means a lot, right? I mean, Mississippi State is the most experienced team in the league. That has to be, said. I think when you describe this Mississippi State team, the amount of experience that they bring back in a third-year head coach in Mike Leach really, to me, plays advantage Bulldogs going into this game on Saturday, as far as just being a huge benefit for State going into the matchup. We've mentioned Will Rogers a lot, right? And Will Rogers, through the first 2 weeks of the season, has a 9-2 touchdown to interception ratio, which is tops in the country. His confidence coming into tomorrow, and not only his game, but understanding what the play caller and head coach Mike Leach wants out of his performance is very well understood for Rodgers. And on the other side of it, as we said, LSU dealing with a lot more questions, while Mississippi State very secure in their identity. LSU still looking to kind of find their way and identify who they are in this process. We mentioned some of the offensive line shakeups that LSU has gone through. They've played 4 offensive lines. They've played 2 here in the regular season, but they've practiced and trained with 4. If you go back to fall practice, they had a couple of combinations that they worked early on in camp. They had one that they had working, kind of going into the last scrimmage, coming out of the last scrimmage. They worked with one unit going into the starting game against Florida State, and they had a different combination in week 2. I'm here to tell you, I think that the combinations tomorrow are going to be different than they have been. And I know we mentioned Xavier Hill coming back, and he was dealing with some of the same stuff that John Emery was dealing with, and Emery got all the highlights because he's the feature guy, he's the running back, he's the senior, he's the 5-star recruit that everybody's talking about. But Xavier Hill being back is going to be, I think, a piece of the offensive line. You heard Brian Kelly say it yesterday in his press conference, him being available and should get some playing time. I don't think that he starts, but I think that he'll be a quick option that they'll look at off of the bench. One move that I would look out for is Emory Jones playing tomorrow night. A lot. Possibly a starter. In fact, if you're asking me, who do you think would start out of the two newcomers that I think are going to play significant time tomorrow night in Xavier Hill and Emory Jones, I'd say that Emory Jones has probably got a better chance of starting tomorrow night at right tackle than anything. We've talked about Jones for a long time. From the time that he was committed, signed, and into the summer, into the spring, when he was still on Catholic High's campus, and when he got there in the summer, you know, his position coach, Brad Davis, was obviously very high on him in recruiting, and then the return when they got him on campus, I think, was almost better than they expected. They had very high expectations for guys like Will Campbell, Emory Jones, Harold Perkins in this freshman class. I think we'll see our first look at Quincy Wiggins come Saturday, as he'll probably be on a lot of the special teams units. Get your first chance to see him here in his rookie season.
I would love to see him run down on kick.
I'm more looking forward to see what Emory Jones is going to look like with this first-team offensive line, because as Emory Jones told you here on the Jordy Culotta show in the middle of the summer, this is something that he and Will Campbell have talked about going back to their sophomore seasons in high school, when they started to camp together and they realized, hey, we're better than everybody here. All the coaches are coming to talk to us. They want to know about us, what we're going to do. They want our contact information. They want to find out who we, really rely on in recruiting. Once they decided, hey, we're going to stick around and stay in Louisiana, go to LSU, and we're going to be the anchors of the offensive line for 3 to 4 years and change the mentality of the offensive line room. I think that starts tomorrow for LSU. Really. I think that Jones has gotten, the highlight against Southern last week is the one that we'll always talk about, but, if you watched him play in high school, that was routine for him. I'm telling you, we went and watched him play Jesuit in a state championship game, and the defensive end for Jesuit that he was playing that night, I forget his name, but I remember going into the game, they were talking about the matchup, and this was going to be a big opportunity for that kid, and he was a senior who was, looking to put some really good film down, and he's probably in a fraternity now because things just didn't work out for him that night. Emory Jones had him looking like the Southern defensive tackle 75% of the game. The play would be happening over here, and Jones would be this kid was on skates. His arms were like flailing going back.
And
I'm not trying. Look, I'm not hating on a high school player, because anybody who drew that assignment that night was going to, outside of TJ Watt, was going to be in trouble. But Jones is just he's like a lot like Campbell, just a different mentality. And, it's something if you're an offensive line, offensive coordinator, head coach with an offensive line background like Brian Kelly, you love him. And you can't wait to play him. I think it starts tomorrow night with Emory Jones. It wouldn't surprise me if Emory Jones starts the game at right tackle.
That's what I was going to ask you. What position do you think he fits in?
I think he plays right tackle right now. I think that's the position where, they've had the most instability, right? They've played more of the guys. You've seen Bradford there. You've seen Cam Wire there. You've seen Miles Frazier there. They're not settled on who they really like on the outside. I think Jones, he was a tackle at Catholic High, played the right side his freshman year. He played the left side his sophomore, junior, and senior season. I think many people projected him as an interior guy. Remember, he told us at the Under Armour game he trained exclusively interior at the guard spot, and he loved it because it was a chance to show off his athleticism too. You can get out and run and
pull.
A lot like just kind of show your ability, show your athleticism. But I think when you project him on this team right now, I think they like Dellinger at guard. I think that
and I think he likes being guard.
Absolutely. No, I think
the
so
center
too.
the center position was, I don't want to say it was too much, but you saw the snaps at Florida State where they were left, right, high, and it seemed like a lot for somebody that's never done it, and then you're in that position against that defensive line that probably better than we thought they were, but for him to have to take that on and now you put him in a more natural position, he seems like he's good to go.
No, I agree.
Like
No,
insert, copy, paste.
That's where he's been his whole life, right? I mean, that's where he's been, and he feels comfortable there. Obviously, I mean, you're doing something that you've done routinely. You're gonna fit into it. So, I think they like him there. To me, the debate is going to be at that left guard spot, right? I mean, they seem to like Anthony Bradford in the sense of they don't want to take him out of the lineup, but they can't seem to find a place for him, right? So, that spot to me is it's probably the most vulnerable on the offensive line because I think you only have a couple of people that can do the center thing, right? And it seems like now, hopefully, Turner has kind of taken this thing and he can hold on to it. And the emergence of Emory Jones, you all knew it was a matter of time before he was going to crack the lineup and become a starter, and that could happen tomorrow. And then Xavier Hill coming back, I think, was somebody in the summer that they were really impressed with just his versatility. And, he had made some strides. He's paying some sins. He's paying some consequences for some sins that happened, before this regime got here, before this coaching staff got here. And a lot like Kelly said about John Emery through the process, Xavier Hill's done the right things. He's kind of put himself in a position where, he's started to get the trust of the coaching staff. And I think, he's versatile, he's athletic, and, he brings another, mentality to the lineup that LSU's looking for up there. And that type of stuff going up against a veteran team like Mississippi State is one of the main reasons why I feel, really so, just unstable about the game from LSU's matchup and standpoint tomorrow. It's just the experience factor. And we'll talk to Coach Caskey about it, who
He's got all
is
the
just
gear.
walking in. And we'll talk some film, but we'll talk a little mentality of LSU and Mississippi State and just the matchup of Mike Leach versus LSU. Before we dive in, we're going to dive into some NFL film here this morning, and we'll just stick around for about 15 and 20 minutes into the film stuff of diving into Bucks and Saints before we get back to some of the picks and some of the things coming up this weekend. But would love to hear what Coach Kyle Caskey has to say just about, from the experience standpoint, how much that believes or how much that gives you an advantage from just a preparation standpoint, from a game planning standpoint. So we'll talk to Coach coming up here in a couple of minutes. Remember, daily we are brought to you by, as we said, by RMB Builders. Our friends over at RMB can help you out today. Custom design a home. They can help you out with a remodel if you're looking for a remodel. If you want to specialize like an outdoor kitchen or a bathroom renovation, get in touch with RMB Builders. I urge you to get over to their Instagram and check them out at RMB Builders. Their Instagram's been on fire. Check them out there with a lot of services that they are offering, a lot of the neighborhoods that they're working in, a lot of the new homes that they're building. You can see some before and after, some progress shots that they got going over there, and see the quality of work. RMB-builders.com, RMB-builders.com. Caskey's Clicks here next on the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. What up, Brad?
Don't let the name fool you. Men's Total Health has offerings for the ladies, too. Guys, is your wife or partner suffering from urinary incontinence, low sexual desire, or pain during sex? Then the O-Shot might be for her. Don't let it scare you. It's totally natural. It's PRP. And Mike Roach and the crew at Men's Total Health will make you as comfortable as you can be. Contact me for more information, Katie at jordyculotta.show.com, and I'm happy to tell you everything that Men's Total Health has to offer for the ladies.
Looking to book a dumpster but no idea how? We've made it quick and easy for you. Check out our website at moralesrolloffs.com. Let Morales Roll-Offs know your desired delivery date, and finally, provide your contact details. To make payment, look out for an email invoice with all your booking details. On delivery day, our driver will notify you through text and email that your dumpster is ready and on the way. Now you know how easy and convenient it is. Call Morales Roll-Offs at 225-427-0000 for your dumpster.
In a wreck, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys is ready to go to work for you. Come meet your team.
I'm your intake specialist. I coordinate your case and connect you with your attorney and paralegal.
That's us, your legal team.
Thanks. And we'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve.
I'm your settlements and disbursement manager, and I'm here to get you paid on time.
I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. Put our team to work today. Just call us. Get it done.
Southern Eye Centers, located at 6859 Jefferson Highway right here in Baton Rouge, has been serving your eyes for over 40 years in the capital region. They offer friendly service in a helpful environment with the highest level of personal care to manage your eye health and vision needs. If you want more information, log online to southerneyecenters.com. That is southerneyecenters.com. Stop in and check out their beautiful office located on Jefferson Highway right here in the capital city. And remember, each time you walk in there and you mention the Jordy Culotta Show, Dr. Ann Shaw and Southern Eye Centers will take 25% off of their fantastic selection of sunglasses. All you got to do is mention the Jordy Culotta Show. Check them out, southerneyecenters.com, and located at 6859 Jefferson Highway. Donaldsonville Glass and Body, the trusted name in frame, body, and automotive paint repair since 1977. They have served their customers for over 45 years. You can find them online at dgbauto.com or stop in and see them Railroad Avenue and Division Street out in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Look, they can help you with your insurance claims. They can make the repair process as stress-free as possible. I'm speaking from experience here. I've got numerous windshields, body repair, all done by Kenny and the crew over at Donaldsonville Glass and Body. They are, without question, the most well-equipped shop in the area. Stop in and see them today. Shop them online, dgbauto.com, or stop in and see the crew over in Division Street in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. Make sure and hit that like button, share button, comment button if you don't mind. And if you're here for the first time, hit that subscription button. Ooh. Subscribe there right to the page here and hit the bell. Anytime we go live, you get notified. And we are talking to Kyle Caskey, Caskey's Clicks here, Caskey's Clicker, Caskey's Calls. Still workshopping it. But we're going to make it a long form. And we're going to come in here throughout the week and we'll sprinkle some of the knowledge that Coach Caskey has. You saw yesterday, broke down the air raid offense from Mike Leach. I got more people that told me that they loved just kind of the football education that they had gotten yesterday on the show just by watching Coach break down the air raid offense. Today we're going to dive in to a little bit of the New Orleans Saints, but I also want to pick Coach's brain a little bit about this matchup of LSU Mississippi State before we jump into some of the film. Coach, good morning. It's great to see you again.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me on, man. Yesterday was fun.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
It was good. And look, let me tell you, man, got a really good return on it. You know, I mean, there was a lot of people out there that, not like football novices or anything, like actual like football fans, people that watched the game that, were like, man, I learned something in watching the show. And I think that was pretty cool for the people to see. And like I said, there's obviously a demand for it. From just the feedback that I got yesterday and really kind of inside the chat, people loving, just kind of diving into the X's and O's. So I think that we can make a long form pod out of it at some point for the people. But this morning we'll dive into some of the Saints and Bucks. We'll look at Brady and Fournette and those guys and what they're bringing in on Sunday. But you spent a kind of tucked into this long NFL assistant coaching career that you're still in and have on your resume. You spent a little time at LSU.
Yep.
In a short little window there, and you worked with the running backs, and you worked primarily the majority of your time with the offensive line. And I think a big storyline going into tomorrow's game is kind of the instability of the offensive line heading into week 3. Not by no fault of anybody. I think that you're still trying to find their guys. They got true freshmen, they got transfers, they got guys that are becoming eligible now, like Xavier Hill, who hasn't been after the first couple of weeks. They got veterans in there, like Charles Turner, who are kind of stepping up and taking the center role. But just your point of view of LSU's offensive line, first 2 weeks of what you've seen, and going into their first SEC game tomorrow.
Yeah, I think they're like you said, there's I don't want instability, maybe the word. It's just something where they're trying to figure out the best grouping right now, and you say, well, they had all offseason to do that, and again, I go back to sometimes you don't understand about an offensive line until they're actually playing against somebody and how they play together. And, sometimes when you've got this much turnover within the offensive line, because if you look back even 2 years ago, you almost had the entire offensive line from the 2019 season except for the center. And, and I think 3 of those guys from last year's offensive line got drafted.
Yeah, they did.
Ingram, Deculus, and Chasen Hines.
Yeah.
And, and then obviously you lost the Rosenthal to Dare to Kentucky through all that. But when, you're looking at 5 new guys from 2 years ago, you now have 5 new guys, no matter how you look at it. So when you're doing that, it's a transition period, but you got to do everything you can to get it right. And I think they're doing that because they're trying different things. Like you said, Garrett Dellinger at center, give him a shot, why not? But he's really more of a guard. If you look at, he's from Michigan, so if you look at some of his Michigan high school tape, he didn't really play any center. He was more of a tackle, and I think I saw him at guard a little bit. But if you go and look at these freshmen, when they came into camp last summer, when I was on the LSU staff and I was working with the offensive line. During the transition between James Craig and Brad Davis, there was that whole group coming in for camp in early June. And I'm telling you, like Will Campbell, I mean, he came in one morning session, so it was morning session and afternoon session. So the good players would come in for the morning session, and then they wouldn't stay for the afternoon session because, I mean, why? We didn't need, we just wanted to see him come out, do something against, Quincy Wiggins or somebody. And I mean, he was shutting everybody down.
Right.
And then, a guy like Emory Jones he was more at the tail end of my time with the O-line. So I didn't get to know him as well, but I got to be around him. And, I love the fact that those guys camp together and all those, and, the guys who go camp together and work together from high school on, but they actually go to college together, those guys usually end up playing together at some point, And but I think getting Scooter Hill back, Xavier Hill, sorry, Scooter. Sorry, I don't see him as I don't see him as Xavier. I just don't see him as Scooter.
Even when he was here, we were calling him Scooter for his interview.
But he is a different guy. He can run. He's a very, very athletic guy. He's a lot like Charles Turner in a way that he might be just slightly undersized for what you want, but he can get in space and he can make plays in space. So if you're talking about getting your screen game going, getting any kind of G pull schemes or anything like that, where you're trying to get guys out into space, even if they put him at tackle for some reason, he could still pull out there on toss plays. Those guys pull all the time. So I do think seeing Emory Jones in there would be good for the team. You know, they need to see, okay, we had this guy as such a highly recruited guy. Let's see what he can do.
How much of a concern is it from the coaching staff, from an offensive line point of view, of the guys not having time playing together?
Yeah, I mean it is, but they like I said, you can still play groups. I can promise you during camp and during summertime and all the different things they did in spring ball, that these guys have worked together in the different groupings. So they probably have 10 different sets of 5 different guys. You know what I'm saying? There's been 10 different groups out there, and they make sure that they're working together and that the communication is right. And I know Brad is a very detail-oriented guy when it comes to the communication, and he wants to make sure that everybody communicates with everybody. And that was one thing. There's some coaches that don't do that. Some coaches say, you know what, you're a right guard, and you go play right guard, and that's not what he does. He makes sure that all these guys know how to play each position. Now, if you get settled into left tackle and you're the left tackle, you know, like if you're Austin Deculus that you were here for so long, then you know you do what you do. You play tackle.
Right.
But he's trying to cross train these guys enough to know if I need you somewhere else, you know how to talk to the guy next to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Brad Davis, LSU offensive line coach, with still shuffling up, trying to find that routine or that group that he wants to move forward with. All right, let's dive into some more of this film, Coach. As we said, people really are eating this stuff up, and we'll just go through a couple of plays here. We'll probably spend about 15, 20 minutes here on some film, and then, as we said, we can have some more long-form stuff of this in a different podcast-type form that we mentioned. All right, what are we looking at here first?
All right, so today's not going to be like as much of a teaching session as it's going to be more of my observations on New Orleans for one, and then Tampa going into the game. So one of the things, the first half of the New Orleans game it looked like they hadn't played in the preseason. I know they had, but it just kind of was a little shaky. So what we're looking at here is I just wanted to talk about Jameis Winston and his kind of happy feet a little bit. Can you let me get to the end zone here? So if you watch here, really, again, it's a 4-man rush, no big deal, and there's a really nice pocket built here, so he can get his reads. Now Atlanta has really, really good coverage on this. Okay, they got everybody covered. That's fine. That happens every once in a while. Now you either run the ball or you find a check down or whatever it is, but I mean they've even got the check downs covered. So at this point, you know, Jameis, hey, make something happen now. At this point, you see all their guys are over here. Now, I know he doesn't have eyes in the back of his head over here to be able to look this way, but at the same time, have a little bit of
awareness.
Feel and awareness that really your way out would be over here. Because I get the next play I got, you'll see the same thing going the other way. But you know, you give up a sack because right here, and you see how he gets really like kind of choppy footed. I mean, he's kind of all over the place.
1 second, Coach. Stewie, can we make the play screen bigger? Is that
go full screen with it.
Yeah, let's go full screen while he's breaking down the play.
Look at that.
So you can see he's getting a little choppy footed there, and it looks a little bit out of character for
a little panicky.
Yeah, so the panic's a good word. If you go to the next play here, now I will say this: is it Cesar Ruiz?
Caesar.
Caesar. Is that Cesar? All right. Cesar sounded better. So hey, if you're listening out there,
let's roll with it.
Cesar Sportsbook. Thank you.
All right, so 51 here. This is, I'm going to point out, this is Grady Jarrett. All right, so when you're talking about even with Tampa's line, Tampa's got some really, really good defensive linemen. Now they don't have the Sues and those kind of guys anymore, but they've still got some really good guys. You know, the Vita Vea and those kind of guys. Now I want you to watch 51. 51 is. He's straight-legged, and he's going to end up punching out, and he punches out and he misses. Okay, so fine. Okay, this is not on Jameis Winston of getting happy-footed, and because really right here he's beat. All right, now what you got to look at here is there's no way he can't see this guy out of his peripheral. If he didn't see this guy out of his peripheral, knowing he's there and knowing this guy's running right here, really in all reality. You're Jameis Winston. You're fast. I mean, he is Jameis Winston. He's still, I know he's an older Jameis Winston, but he's still got a little bit of speed to him. this guy's engaged. Go ahead and run around this guy, because really, if you look at it, who's your check down in this case? It's really not a check down; it's a route. Kamara's running a choice route right here, so Kamara can come here and he can break in or he can break out depending on how this guy plays him. Well, this guy's got inside leverage on him, so he breaks out. So really, everything you need to get the ball away with is to the right here. So right here, why not just use your speed and go ahead and get around this edge and then, hey, throw it away. All you got to do. So in the NFL and college, I believe has the same rule, but you got the tackle box here, and as long as you're outside the tackle box and throw the ball past the line of scrimmage, you could throw it in the stands past the line of scrimmage. It doesn't matter as long as you're outside the tackle box and it's not intentional grounding. It's just throwaway. So, he doesn't have to get that far away. But I thought that was something in the first half that was a little bit kind of out of sync. Now you get later in the game, and there's a lot of I talked yesterday about a lot of different coverages. I'm going to let this play and then show you here. This is called cover 3. So you've got the 3 guys here. Now they've got each one of these guys has a third. There's a difference between, I mentioned yesterday, there's some carry coverages because we saw that sail route we had yesterday where the guy was kind of playing in man and he broke. These are actually spot droppers. So this guy's got the curl flat. He's got the hook curl. He's got the hook curl. He's got the curl flat. That's what the different areas are. That's another thing. But when these guys are spot dropping, they're actually covering zones. They're covering zones. There's big holes in these zones in the seams. Okay, so this is what's called the seam, is right in this area and right in this area. A lot of red on that screen. So as you can see here, they do a good job of running, again, a basic 4 vertical thing with some stops on the outside. But this is where you can beat these cover 3 teams, and this is a really good route by the receiver, and it's a really good throw by Jameis. So they started to exploit some things later in the game as they got more comfortable. And you can see here, this is really it's a blitz. He's got the protection turned right. Good, great pickup by the line. And then, hey, it's easy. But again, that's a spot drop throw, right, or spot drop coverage right there. So, and then this last one I got here, talking about the offense of New Orleans. I want you to watch here first off. It's Michael Thomas right there. And this is something that, as a coach, you always try to make sure you notice what he's it's hard to see, but he's fixing his gloves, all right, pre-snap. And when you're fixing your gloves like that,
I'm about to get
the ball.
I always told my running backs too, if you get back in the backfield and you start messing with your gloves,
they know you're getting the ball.
They know you're getting the ball, or what I'm saying. So don't, if you just come back there and you stand straight up and you're just kind of looking around, like make pass protection and a run look the same. Make a route and a run look the same.
It's almost like a pitcher with a tell on the mound.
Yeah,
where it's like I feel like I know what's coming because you're picking up on little subtle things.
So in this case right here, with the type of you got press pretty much across the board except for here, all right, and you got this guy. Really, he's going to have Kamara when it's all said and done. Now they're playing a max drop again, where they're helping out on Kamara. All right, that's what a lot of people do to him. When you play man coverage, you don't want a linebacker covering Alvin Kamara. In all reality, I mean, it's just.
I mean, is there any linebacker on the planet that can cover it? Can Devin White cover him?
I think Devin White can cover him. I think he's probably one of the few. Yeah, he is.
Miles Jack.
He's a different beast. I was with Miles Jack, and you'd be surprised. I think he overthinks things a little bit too much. But yeah, physically, yes, he probably.
Josh Allen.
No, because Josh Allen's a rusher, man. Yeah. He's not gonna. I would
a
love
little thick, bro.
Well, and a lot of the reason I feel like people feel like they can't cover Kamara one-on-one, they have to help, is because they give him so many choice routes, and he's so good at deciding where the space is and finding how to get open.
And the crazy thing is like I showed you the play before where the guy was playing inside leverage on him. There's times where the guy will be playing inside leverage on him, but he knows he can beat him, and he'll still run inside of him. The guy, he just knows. He knows this guy can't cover me.
Got to set him up.
All right, so what I want to point out here is yesterday with the Mississippi State film, they were on the goal line playing cover 0, and you saw this guy ran through here, and this guy did this and ran underneath, and they threw it here for a touchdown. All right, this is the opposite of that. All right, so we called this Blackbird, and with a couple of the teams I've been with, and It's just ran. I don't know why we call it Blackbird, but it's just like you could signal.
Football.
You could signal this out there to your receivers if you saw this. So if you saw 2 press guys inside, you could signal this. So we had this guy run a post. This guy's running through here. He's basically trying to get this guy to go underneath him. And why do you want him to go underneath him? Because this guy's going to do this. You want him you want him trailing him. You don't want him to go over the top. So you see how this guy goes underneath, right there. So you can see how this guy made him go behind him like this. Michael Thomas is now running full speed down the sideline. He's having to trail him now. All right, that's what you want. And then if you look, they basically doing the same thing. So they just ran this guy kind of out of the way. That guy ran kind of the rub route, and then Michael Thomas is running this route, and that's how you get these guys open on press coverage.
Well, it's a de facto rub.
Yes,
to get him out of phase, right?
Exactly, and these are called, for a lack of a better term, and I apologize to anybody in your
cars for carpool.
Yeah, so they're called man beaters. But that's what we call these man beaters. So there are different ways to do this. If this guy were to be off and this guy was on, then you would do the opposite.
Beat him off.
Do that, yeah. So you would do the opposite depending on who's pressed and who's not. So there's a lot of things, but I thought that was really good by them. Now that looks like they called that. Maybe Jameis did before the play started, but I mean I thought that was a really good
indication of when they're running the offense.
Yeah, he knows. They understood 2 press guys on the inside to get that done. Real quick, moving to Tampa's defense.
Great throw.
I do want to point out that this Tampa defense is they are what they are, and they're not changing because the head coach was the D coordinator. You know what I mean? So
Todd Bowles.
Yeah. So what you saw last year, I mean, it's his team, so it's his defense. I mean, that stuff's not changing. One of the things they do is this is called a cross dog, right? So they're bringing these guys, and then they're dropping out a defensive end. I do want to make the point that they stole a player in Carl Nassib, getting him back. And, I mean, whether the Raiders let him go for other reasons, which is screwed up if they did.
Love his life.
Players are players, man. I mean –
you're talking about locker room stuff.
Talking about locker room stuff. Yep. But if that's the case, I mean –
shit, Coach, he's a ball player.
He is a really good player. And they got him back, and that's him up here playing 94. But so point being here is Dallas screws this up the first time, all right? And – they get sacked, all right. But they got to know this is coming. This is a staple. It's a staple in this defense. So as you look at it again, you got him who's dropping, and then these guys are crossing. Speaking of these guys, you
got Levante David and Devin White coming at you in your mouth.
Running back picked up the wrong.
He
didn't really know.
The tackle should have gone out on the defensive end. So they come back, same pressure, all right. Now, I want to make a point of this, and this is just a personal viewpoint. Again, it's the same exact blitz. Here's Nassib dropping again, cross dog. Now, I want you to watch this from the end zone. Everybody talks about how great of a blocker Ezekiel Elliott is. I'm sorry, I don't see it. I've never seen it, but look at – I mean, that's just soft to me. And maybe their brother-in-law, like right here. So, but and the good thing about what they did is they did pick it up correctly because – the rule in offensive line play is if you have an inside cross and really say this was the backs guy, like this probably is, but if he were to blitz first, if this guy were to come first, the center always takes the first guy and the back plays off of him for obvious reasons. He's got time to react, but they got it picked up that time.
Damn.
So they
got to. You know how fast that's coming at you in real time.
HD 45 in your mouth.
I mean, you got to see Devin White coming around that 300-pound center.
It's a business decision.
And then this could be a whole clinic in itself. So, which could be another day. But this again is a staple of Todd Bowles, and I'll show it from the end zone. But both those linebackers are double A. They're mugged in the A gaps. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got motion. Now, when you're playing a team that has these double A gap blitzes, you want to know if it's man or if it's zone because different things come from it. It's a whole clinic in itself. So right now he motions, nobody runs with him. It's zone. Everybody knows it's zone. So you know one of two things is either these guys are bailing out or something else is coming and other dudes are dropping out, which is the case here. So as you see, I'll show from the end zone because blitzes are easier to see from the end zone. So what's going to happen is both of these guys are coming here. He's doing this, and then this guy from the outside is blitzing here. All right, so this is really good by Dallas's offensive line, but this is where the Saints have got to be on top of their game here. Is the back's blocking him. Sure, that guy was supposed to be blocking him, but when this guy drops, he knows right now, come back and help.
Right.
When this guy drops, he knows, okay, I can help now. And
Wow.
in this case, helping this guy means, hey, go, go, go. So he goes out and blocks this guy. His guy drops, go, go, go. So he comes out and blocks this guy. That's a really good job. So the Saints have just got to be ready for those kind of things.
What did you think of the play? Do you have the play where Lenny hit Parsons?
I don't, but I
What's your thought on that?
Chip blocks are legal, and yes, that was he was engaged. It was not a high low block though. It was a rib shot, and it's not.
He popped him.
It's
Well,
not,
yeah, you're engaged and you get caught. Yeah, and Micah Parsons says, welcome to the NFL. I mean, that's going to happen. You're going to get – he knows that whenever you're engaged, and it just seems like he was more reacting to social media than he was to trying to say it's a dirty play. That happens every single Sunday.
It goes back to the T.J. Watt getting he got cut in the one game. Somebody else got cut. It was the kid from
Thibodeau.
Yeah, he gets cut. Those are legal blocks, and you can't take legal blocks out of the game. Now, if you want to take that block out of the game, take it out of the game, but you can't get mad about it if it happens. It happens. Now, with the chip blocks, as a running back coach, one of the things we always told him was legally go take some football out of that guy.
Cool.
You don't want to hurt anybody. You never want to hurt anybody. I mean, in all reality, it's a competitive game. And it's hard to practice. You can't practice on your own guys because you don't want to take football out of your own guys, but. I'm telling you, man.
Take a soul.
Yeah, you got to go. And if a guy has his arms up and he's got his ribs exposed, it's his own fault.
Yeah.
He knows that there's a running back standing back there and that he's rushing. And if that back stays right outside of him a little bit, you're gonna get popped.
Oh.
So anyway.
And Lenny saw it and took it.
Well,
I was one of them.
And and now I'm gonna get into this with Fournette right now. Actually, he showed up to camp a little big, right? Mm-hmm. And he still looks like he's lost a little step. Now
Lenny
rushed, he rushed for a lot of. He had a really good game. I think he averaged 6 yards a carry or something.
Yeah. I think he had the highest average before contact he's ever had in his career that game.
But that goes to my point right now. Is he is? I think that's more to the detriment of Dallas's defense than it is to necessarily what he was doing. So, if the Saints can get on this guy early. He just doesn't look like he's got that same pop to him that he had. Now, maybe if he loses that a little bit, keeps losing that weight. What I want to talk about here is Dallas's edge defense, because New Orleans has the same kind of issue. I'll show you in a couple clips from here. But if you look at how Dallas is getting, what they're doing is they're pulling these guys around, and they're really trying to get the edge because on the outside here, you got a whole lot of leverage by Tampa. I mean, you got 2 guys that are uncovered here. Now you got 7 out here, and I get he's a good player, but
he don't want that.
You don't want that. He does not want this 7. This 7 does
Versus
not
that
want that 7.
No, you don't want that.
Now, so what they're doing, Tampa runs this play. It's called duo, and most of the time, these guys are doubling. These guys would be doubling to him, and he'd actually be on him. So it's really just
is this tackle over.
It's old school. No, this is just 3 tight ends.
Wow.
And so, but point being, so this is a play that they run. Well, what they did here is they said, okay, you're going to give us this edge over here. We're going to pull this backside guard and lead for Leonard Fournette. And look who's blocking number 7 now.
He don't want no smoke.
He don't want
He's
none
bad
of
as
that.
Deion Sanders, bro. Right. He's running away from him.
I'm either cutting or leaving.
So the thing that I want to make a point of is to keep that in mind here when I get to the Saints after this next play. And I just wanted to show you this play because this is what Tampa does. This is what they're about. Their coaching staff has been together for a long time, and they're gonna just line up here in their run game, and all they're doing here is they're blocking. This is old school. Our guys are better than your guys.
Man, oh man.
And then look, they're not. They didn't even block him. They didn't even block him. And that's all they're doing. They're basic. They're doubling here. Now he goes out, so he just goes up. They're doubling here and here. And I mean, boop, there he goes. Now this is the thing. I've seen Fournette hit a different gear right here, and this is what made me think. Okay, he's not what he was, but he still has that, you know.
Yeah.
Because there's a time he takes that to the sideline and maybe house it.
Yeah, exactly. Because this, you know,
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
He still has. I think he still has that ability. It's just I don't know if that coming into camp was
there yet.
Yeah. So I'm going to point this out. So if you look at the way that Atlanta lined up against New Orleans defense, it's a lot the same. I mean, look at the edge over here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now you've got other guys. I get it. And I've been around Dennis Allen for a long time. He was a GA when I was playing at A&M, and I've known him. He's a really good coach. He's a really good defensive coach. He's not going to do this for no reason, but you still got to be able to take care of business when time comes. And this doesn't even have anything to do. This play actually has nothing to do with this side. This play has to do with this side. All right. So you've got two guys here. Now, when this guy should be setting the edge. Now, when this guy motions over, all right, it kind of takes him out of being able to set the edge. All right. So what's going to happen is when you see this from the back, they're going to run a outside zone here. Now he goes back, so really now he's back in the game. Now look what this guy does. See how this guy jumped inside? Now he could jump inside knowing that this guy's here, you know. Now he's got to make the play. So they're down a gap. Now all of a sudden a new gap was created right here, and you got guys blocking out in front. You know, so point being is they've got to get better on their edge defense, and that's what Tampa just created on the last play, was when they pulled that extra guy around, it created an extra gap. Yeah. And I'm going to show you on the next play here. This will be my last play coming up here on the Saints film. But this is what the Saints have got to be ready for, because I'm just telling you that teams like Tampa can run this play. I'm sure they have this play in, and it's simple, but there's a lot going on. All right, so they motion the tight end over. All right, why does that matter? Well, it makes a lot of communication happen on defense. Okay, now you went from, like yesterday, 2x2. Now you went to 3x1. Now your coverage structure could change. You know, you can see these guys are now rolling down over here. You know, now they motion again back to 2x2, but now you've got your speed over here. Now you got your speed side over here. It's just a lot of communication. Now what they're going to do next is not only going to do that, they're going to run this guy over here on the snap. He's not blocking. This guy's unblocked, okay? They're reading this guy. All right, so this guy's getting read. All right, they're going to run a read zone option here. All right, reading this guy. So they're not blocking him. This tight end looks like he is, but really when he comes back, he's really leading for the quarterback. And you see how he's really trying to avoid 94. He's not really blocking 94.
No, he just wants his attention.
Yeah, so I can tell you he's just knowing this scheme. So all this stuff's going on. Now this is what you call it's a version of bear. Usually a bear front means you got a head up nose, a 3 technique, a B gap player, somebody out here. You got every gap covered. Mm-hmm. And it comes from we call it bear defense. The Chicago Bears used to run it back in the day. And I'm sorry, I got distracted. All right. I'm glad I was here for that.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm sorry, you guys will understand in a minute. All right. So anyway, when this is all said and done, when the tight end comes back over here, all right. So not only did you have the jet motion, what did the jet motion do? What did this motion do? It took 20 out of the play.
Watch out of the box.
So 20 is gone. When this guy came around, you're really reading him. He's really going to lead up here for the quarterback if the quarterback kept it. But because 94 went up the field, hand it off. All right? So he handed it off. Now, 57 almost makes the play, but in all reality, I mean, that's a well-blocked play, and this gets down to about the 2-yard line.
And you're handing it off to a 6'2", 220-pound, which isn't much different than Leonard, to be honest.
So
when you're talking about a bigger back with Cordero Patterson, he was able to, which I think shocked some Saints fans in terms of how he's still able to kind of go from return specialist to put him back at running back, all-purpose guy. But you're not going to see the Bucs do this exact kind of thing, right? Because Tom's not a run threat.
They're not going to now. Tom's not, okay. But the point I want to make, and I wrote this down. I looked at their schedule. You have Arizona, Baltimore, San Francisco, Atlanta again. You got the Browns when Watson's back.
Yeah,
All
first
right?
game back. Or no,
But he's back.
Yeah.
I think he's like week 14 or something. And then you got the Eagles on the schedule. Those are all running quarterbacks. Those are all teams that are going to do this. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of your games coming up that are going to be against
mobile quarterbacks.
And you got to be able to fix this. Now, there are ways to fix this, and I know he will, because you could always bump this guy over, bump this guy in. Now, your coverage aspects get a little skewed, especially down in the red zone where they're at right now. But that you got to understand too, they'll fix this, and these, like Mariota is still kind of new to Atlanta, obviously, but. So I'm sure they didn't have a whole lot of film, but I'm sure they went back and watched it of what he did in Tennessee and different places. You still go scout
Las Vegas
those guys
for a little bit,
yeah.
And then even you almost can go back to Oregon because that's what they're tailor-made. Like they're tailor-making this offense, tailor-made offense for Mariota. Like they changed their entire scheme from Matt Ryan to Marcus Mariota.
So yeah, and again, I think the biggest points of this are. There's a few little issues on the Saints defense that can get exploited, like that edge, because you saw when they actually lined up that one play, that edge on the ones they didn't run to that side, but that edge was still a little short for the Saints. And then really, if Jameis can just get into a groove a little earlier than he did, he's fine. But and again, I'll throw this out there. They still got Andy Dalton, and I was with Andy for 8 years in Cincy, and. I get it, Andy. Andy has his drawbacks too, but if you needed a guy to go in there and calm it down, he could do that.
What is it about Brady from a coaching standpoint when you see this guy and y'all are talking about him within the walls?
He can run. He doesn't need coaches to run the offense for him. You know what I mean? I say that in no disrespect to the coaches he's had, but it is when he's on the field. If he needs to change a play, he doesn't have to have rules to change it. He finds a way to change it. And when it comes to checking the plays, a lot of times 2 plays get sent in, and he knows exactly when to check them and why they're checking them. And there's not a whole lot to it. But the biggest thing I think he has the respect of the players around him, and none of those guys want to let him down. So when you're talking about some of these quarterbacks that are, you call them selfish quarterbacks or whatever, and then you get these players that all of a sudden look like they quit around them. It's probably because they are. And nobody's going to quit on Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to quit on Patrick Mahomes or Herbert or any of those guys, or even Matthew Stafford. I was around Stafford, which, by the way, Stafford is the originator of the no-look pass, not Mahomes. So I'm telling you, man.
No, I believe that.
Oh, my gosh. This dude would throw some – now, I saw a lot of practice stuff too. This dude throws some crazy throws, and you're like, "What are you doing?" And all of a sudden, it's like he's like running to the right. He's looking to the sideline. He just throws it way over to the left to some dude that's like 3 people over, and you're like, "How did you even see that?" But I do have one quick story about Stafford. I know this is totally off subject, but 2020, was a year we had no fans, and I was in charge of blitz pickup, so I was with the running backs and everything. So I'm on the field down there, and we would always, when I was done talking to the running backs, I would go over to the quarterbacks and see, hey, if we had some blitz show up or something, hey, what did you see? Is there everything still good? We good with our plan? There was one. They had everybody over to the left. All right, the entire team was over to the left, and then there was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 guys kind of on the right, but they didn't look like they were blitzing. Well, he checks the protection from sliding the line left to sliding the line right. And you could see him doing it from the sideline. I'm like, what are you doing? What? And I'm like, this dude's crazy. And sure enough, right at the snap, the entire defense rotated. We kind of knew that they had that in there, but not in the pre-snap look. Well, they were messed up for one. So I come over and I said, Staff, how did you see that? He goes, I didn't see anything. I heard them say they were blitzing over there. So he flipped the protection because there were no fans.
Yeah.
There was no fans.
Wow.
He said they were over there arguing about who was blitzing.
Let me shift this real quick.
I'm just going to put it over here.
Thank y'all.
I mean, I think they actually, it was Tampa, actually, believe it or not, at some point there. But that was crazy. But we
toughest guy of all time, Matt Stafford.
Yes, and I'm saying that in a quarterback perspective.
Right.
We played Oakland in 19. I'm sorry, that wasn't Tampa. They did it against. I'm tripping. See, it's early in the morning.
I'm tripping
too. Something has distracted me this morning also, so I'm, but anyway, I
looks great over there.
So
Told you.
In 19 we played Oakland, and we were in Oakland, so it was they hadn't moved yet, and we were on that that
baseball field.
That stadium is so bad, by the way.
So bad.
We played there, not that game, but we played there with the Bengals when they still had the dirt out there.
Oh yeah.
And you talk about the old school fields with the turf and stuff, but like this is like legit levels. Like you go from the grass to the dirt, and you could roll your ankle just walking on it.
Wow.
But and the mound, so they took the mound off of there and they put this other little thing down on top of it. It's weird, but anyway, so we were playing Oakland, and he runs a pass towards the end of the game, and he gets just totally annihilated, and he broke a vertebrae in his back. And dude played through it. He played through it, and now he didn't end up finishing the season, but he played through it for a while. And so when you say somebody played through a broken back, he legit played through a broken back.
Like Tyson, I broke my back.
Broke my back for the team.
That's unreal.
So, but that, so that I don't even know where we were going with that. But
tough.
That's how we got to there.
So. The man, Coach Caskey, is here breaking down film again. Make sure and check that out. We will have a longer form on this where it'll be a standalone, and I think this is how we do it. We kind of tease it throughout the show, and then we bring back some longer form stuff. Because there is a market out there. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. All right, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. The debt has been paid, and we will give a shout out to our friends over at Red Stick. Wow, did you paint your face maroon, or are you blushing right now?
She's
the loser.
Gee, you look great. You're fine.
Double or nothing bet, and will wear her baseball uniform.
The worst thing
out
to hear.
To LSU, we will talk to the loser, Katie Alligood, next year on the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. Looks great. We love the crew over at Fresh Chef Kitchen. Chef Shane and his crew dropping off the meals every Monday here to FM Digital Media, whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner. Me or the crew's going through our meals over at Fresh Chef Kitchen. Their weekly pre-order, freshly made meals, or you can walk into the cooler over there on Airline Highway. They have that fresh, same service over there at Fresh Chef Eats. FreshChefEats.com is where you can find them online. Fresh Chef Kitchen. Tell them you heard it right here on the Jordy Culotta Show. I was embarrassed about my smile. Are you unhappy at yours? Do you not smile back at yourself? I called my friend, Dr. Spillers, over at Johnson & Spillers. He fixed my smile, and now everywhere I go, people are complimenting it after the work that Dr. Spillers and the staff did to my mouth. They can do it to yours. Get in touch with them. JohnsonSpillers.com. 2 locations, one in Gonzales, one in Baton Rouge. Easy to find them, JohnsonSpillers.com. Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz. Do you suffer from chronic dehydration? Are you looking to improve your athletic performance and you need to get over and see our friends over at GoFlow IV? They're located on Jefferson Highway. Easy to find them online at GEAUXFlowIV.com. Make sure and use the promo code Jordy Culotta Show. If you do, they'll take 15% off of your initial visit. Check them out online, GEAUXFlowIV.com.
Hey Baton Rouge, when traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, whether you need to fill up your vehicle or your belly, stop by Go-Mart and On The Go Deli. Go-Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you might need on your trip. So stop by Go-Mart at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left, and visit Tom and Wright Granning and their awesome team at Go-Mart.
We've seen the BK takeover stuff. from LSU and social media, and really in his short time in Baton Rouge, there's been a lot of people embracing his approach to building this roster. What's it like to recruit alongside him?
Oh, it's been great. Coach has been awesome to me because he lets me be myself when it comes to recruiting, when it comes to coaching. He lets his coaches coach, he lets his coaches recruit. So I have no complaints on that end. And when I need him to get in touch with a kid, he's there for me. The communication line has been great. He's just been nothing but supportive.
But this opportunity was different. You have a chance to come to a place with unbelievable tradition, work for the winningest head coach in college football. Just be at a state. I've never been at a state where football's king, and if you just dominate your state, you're going to get some of the best players that there are.
Sure.
Yeah, so I think, getting through spring, I mean, most of it was obviously just installing the offense. And I think all four guys really made some strides in terms of that and showed a lot of positives. Obviously, which, you guys get to talk about all the time. So you guys,
Sure.
Yeah. But all four have done a great job. They did. I think they really did a really nice job in spring of taking strides forward individually, and everybody's different in terms of what they need to get better at and what they need to show. And then move it into summer, and I love the way they're working right now in the weight room for Coach Flint. But like I said, I think spring a lot was everything was new for everybody. So especially at the beginning, there wasn't as much evaluation, say the first few days, get into the flow, and then I think we got some good opportunities for some guys to get some reps, and I think everybody showed some positives.
All right, welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet, live on this Friday. Make sure to hit that like button, share button, comment button.
Take those shoes off.
It is payday. How about the shoes, bro? Everything down to the shoes. Stand up for us here.
You did it, Jordy.
Katie, if you don't mind here, get that P to Z on the remote there, Stewie, if we can get a
Foot
full,
shot.
just straight. Go ahead and turn around for him, Kate. Little turf cleats there. Yep, little 0-2 Allagood to the double or nothing
This
bet
is
that
like
she got.
2005
we got
Howard Stern.
Belt, gray pants, the 2-button Tigers shirt, imprinted by our friends over at Red Stick. This full fit is compliments of Cody Edwards.
Like the mannequin
and
in
Red
the-
Stick
in the
Sports.
recruiting office.
If
Exactly.
you are,
God.
give a little twirl if you don't mind there.
Oh
Katie.
yeah,
Thank you,
let's
thank
really
you, thank you,
let's
thank
really
you.
slut this segment out.
Show them the back of the pants.
Yeah. Slutting shorts, I'm sure.
For those of you that are locking your office doors now.
I'm in a meeting.
No, I'm not.
Hit that do not disturb sign if you don't mind on the outside.
Put a sock on the door.
Lloyd Courtney on the E channel at 2 a.m. and Howard Stern's going on.
Well, you've paid your debt, Katie. This is officially, you are square with the show here. Whoa, hat head, bro.
I know.
I'd go back with the flat bill.
Put it on
I
backwards.
think you look. No. I think the hat is a great accent. Okay. All right. You really look like a Mississippi State fan now.
Go Dogs!
But the
Go
debt is
Dogs!
paid.
Go
We are square, Katie. There is no need to wear this to the game tomorrow. You can rock your Dak jersey if you want.
I don't have a Dak jersey.
Are you gonna wear the? What is your game day fit for Mississippi State?
Well, I had
Aside from
one
this.
in a shopping cart online, and I didn't order it after Jordy told me about this because I thought I was wearing this. I have other maroon and white stuff, but I was planning on just wearing this jersey and in regular clothes.
We should order some Ole Miss
If
stuff
you
now.
want to stick with that, we can do that.
I think the jersey is fine. It's the pants and the
Yeah,
socks
it's
and
the
the
pants and
shoes
socks
that
and
you
the
would
belt.
eventually.
My family does not want to walk around with me in the
No.
bottom
I
half.
actually
That's what
had
we
a
were
little
trying to
sticker
help
eye
you.
pack for
0-2?
Yeah.
John 3:16.
That's exactly what I would wear. Corinthians 7:8.
Yeah.
But I'll wear the jersey. It will be
the first time I've ever gone to a Mississippi State game in some other team's colors, which is
Oh, so you're
weird.
gonna wear the jersey?
Just the jersey.
Okay.
I mean,
look, man.
pants and shoes, but my own pants and shoes.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
Oh, damn! A lot of people disappointed in the chat.
Just
Thought
the
you were gonna
jersey.
Winnie the Pooh it
I'm
out
Winnie the
there.
Pooh it.
Never
Just
mind.
top.
I'm out of
No
here.
bottoms.
All right, so welcome back here to the Jordy
Thank
Culotta
you
Show. Good
for
stuff
doing
from
this.
Kyle Caskey and Caskey's Clicks. Great to see the breakdown there of LSU, or excuse me, of the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We were talking a little bit about the offensive line as we were in the first half of today's show, and LSU Mississippi State gearing up for tomorrow, and everybody said, "Oh, you're beating around the bush. Just say it if you're picking." I think I said yesterday I'm going to take Mississippi State minus the points in
You
this
did
game,
say that.
minus 2.5. I'm not running away from anything. I'm not trying to hide anything here.
Who said you were?
I don't know. Somebody inside the chat.
LSU
earlier.
by 3.
You got LSU by 3?
By 3. My
Taking the
field
money
goal.
line?
I'm taking my field goal.
Wow,
Yep.
you're
Wow.
betting on the
Really?
special teams.
Yeah.
Betting on your boy, Brian
Oh my
Poley and his
God.
crew.
Okay,
Look,
Suey.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
by 3.
yeah,
I'm
okay.
not saying we're gonna have to make a
Backpedal a
field.
little bit over there.
I mean,
What you
Not
brought-
saying we're gonna have to make a field goal.
Right.
You said the magic
LSU
word.
by 3.
Look, I think this is going to be a really good game.
It is going to be a great
I think it's
game.
going to be it's an excellent opportunity for LSU and Brian Kelly. It really is. There is a lot of questions around who they are, right? See, what the way that I'm looking at this game, just from a breakdown standpoint, is that Mississippi State's coming in here very confident in who they are. They're very well identified. They know themselves, right? Like, I mean, they've done this. They've been doing this. They've got experiences. Tiger Stadium tomorrow night, I think, is going to be rocking. I kind of have a feeling it's going to be jumping in there.
It is.
At 5
It's gonna be
o'clock.
fun,
I don't think that's going to
regardless.
intimidate Will Rogers.
No, it's not.
I don't think that's going to intimidate Mississippi State and the veterans that they're bringing in, right? Like, I think that there will be a home field advantage for LSU, and I think more of the advantage this week is that, Mississippi State had their preparation clock kind of thrown off by getting back into town to Starkville at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning last week. I think Leach said he kind of gave him the day off and then got him back to the facility on Sunday afternoon to stay as repetitive and as on routine as much as possible. But they're still a little off from that stone. If you want a small advantage of just kind of the week, but I think the veteran, the experience part really is why I'm taking Mississippi State, is because they know who they are. They're confident in what they run. They are very well understanding of who they're playing alongside. These guys have done this for a lot. LSU, as we said, they're going to shake up the offensive line again tomorrow night. There's going to be more guys that are playing. John Emery's going to make his first appearance
That's exciting.
for LSU in over 2 years.
At home.
I know. Isn't that exciting? Aren't y'all excited?
You know,
for him?
absolutely.
I mean, this is one of the.
this is what he's been waiting for.
This is the home game. Probably, I forgot I had this on. This is one of the home games that you probably circled on the calendar. Maybe not before the year, but after the Florida State, where you're like, this is a definite mile marker for LSU football and where they're going to be, because everything that you highlighted, Jordy, I'm with you, because they're able to bring in a junior quarterback that's run the system for 3 years. They don't have to really worry about getting calls in. They're going to be not really fazed by the crowd noise in terms of, we know what system we're running, we know what we're doing. When you flip the script and look at LSU, it's almost, I don't want to say the polar opposite, but they're still trying to figure it out. Mississippi State knows who they are and what they're going to do when they come into Tiger Stadium. That's the only reason that I'm not exactly against your Mississippi State pick, but Tigers by a million.
Against it.
Yeah.
Right. No, I hear you, man. Look, I would love nothing more for tomorrow night to be a Saturday night in Death Valley. You know what I mean? Like a nice, big win for Brian. It's a great opening test for Brian Kelly's debut in the league.
First touch.
Yeah.
6 for John Emery.
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
Put him on kick.
But I still think that you
punt returner.
As
Got some
a
juice,
huge
coach.
emphasis last week to get Kayshawn interactive into the game very early on. I still think you see that emphasis this week. I believe that John Emery is going to play a lot tomorrow night. I think that they were setting you up earlier this week of he's not in shape. He's in tip-top shape. He just hadn't been hit in 2 years.
Fresh.
You know what I mean? Let's see what that looks like on that grass, with that emotion, with those fresh legs, what that feels like tomorrow. I feel like John Emery is going to play a lot of football tomorrow.
If you could gamble on first play of the game, is it not just get Emery a touch?
Maybe.
Or pass
I
pro?
don't know if he starts the game. You know, I don't know.
Really?
I mean,
You don't think he would?
I don't know. I mean, you got a lot of guys that have done the right things for a
Yeah.
long time, and they've been, they paid their
I think
due.
he has, though. It's kind
Yeah,
of
he
like
has, and maybe they do. Maybe they give him what he's kind of what he
Earned.
believes. Yeah, he may have earned
Mm-hmm.
up to that point. So
This has always been a very close game. I mean, obviously LSU has won more of the games in the history of this. I think someone put it in here earlier.
It's like 72 and 36.
It's a lot. But
To a little.
if you look back, honestly, though, especially over the past 10, 15 years, it's always very close. It's always a really fun, exciting game. It's super close. It's never really a blowout. So it'll be fun regardless. And Mississippi State doesn't, home field advantage doesn't really mean a whole lot. Playing away with crowd noise doesn't really, that's not the thing that affects them because
They're
so
probably
used
excited to
they're
be
used
away
the
from the
noise.
cowbells.
They might be. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
no doubt.
different for them, but
and I think
they're
from
used to that.
from a competitive standpoint, there are things that make you concerned when you have first timers going into anything that could be new. If Mississippi State was taking a new quarterback or a new coach
Absolutely.
or anything into tomorrow night, you would think, man, I wonder how they were going to react. On the other side of it, when you're prepared for it and when you're ready for it and it doesn't intimidate you, that's the type of stuff you want to be in.
Yeah.
That's where you want to be. That's the type of stuff where you want to compete and say, we went into LSU on a Saturday night and won the game.
Well, yeah,
You
Will
know what I
Rogers
mean?
has been here, though, and done that. But a new quarterback?
I don't think
know.
that Will Rogers has been here. Wasn't it KJ Costello?
That's who
2 years
sliced
ago?
up LSU.
He's played here.
No. I don't think he's played against LSU at LSU.
No,
he
not
played
in Baton Rouge.
Right.
He played against LSU last year.
KJ Costello played in 2020. He was the
That's
quarterback
right.
last year in Starkville.
That's right, it was in Starkville
And,
last year. I was
This will be
thinking
his first time in Tiger Stadium with a crowd. You know what I mean? Like
That's
in
true.
2020, was there 11,000 people or whatever there was there?
Was it even that?
I don't even think it was.
I mean, I don't think it was
people.
even
Mike
that.
Leach's play sheet.
I need to show it.
Wait, what is that?
Mike Leach's play sheet right there.
Stop.
Got all his plays on here. I got inside zone, ISO, trap,
Mesh.
trip sail, 2x2
Oh
sail,
my gosh.
shallow cross, deep cross, trips all vert, 2x2 all vert, tunnel screens to the running backs and the receivers.
And,
That's all we need, Coach.
and he says, what did he say? He goes, I got 15 plays. He goes, if you want to add another one, you got to take one out that works better.
Oh, you want to add a play?
Yeah, show me one that show me one that doesn't work, or show me one that works better. We'll think about it. Otherwise, I got my 15. Hey, Herman Boone.
That's all I got.
Veer. Give it time, just like Novocaine works every time.
Caesar Sportsbook has it at LSU plus 2.5. Mississippi State favored here in this one.
By that half point.
Don't know how you like it. If I was to play this, I probably won't play this game.
You have to at this point.
I mean, okay. Well, then I'll take Mississippi State. I'll take Mississippi State minus 2.5.
You gotta go with LSU now. Jordy's picking Mississippi
Yeah,
State.
you got to now.
Fade the man.
Yeah.
The other picks that I like this weekend, I'm taking Ole Miss minus the 17 at Georgia Tech.
Are you?
Weird spot in Atlanta for Kiffin and
They don't run the
Ole
triple
Miss.
option anymore.
No, they don't. But Jeff Collins and Georgia Tech are bad. If you watch
Big
that,
strength team.
If you watch that Clemson game
Oh,
early
my
on
goodness.
in the season,
It was
I mean, that was
Why are both of these teams
a
this bad?
bad team, man. And Clemson wasn't that good.
Their
you know? And
defense
they were
is good.
They were running away from Georgia Tech. I don't think that Georgia Tech's seen an offense like Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss is bringing into Atlanta tomorrow. I think Kiffin he's playing pissed off all year. I think he's kind of trying when he has an opportunity to run up the score. He's going to run up the score.
Notice me.
Yeah, right. And I don't think 17 is enough tomorrow.
What time are they kicking off?
2:30. It's the ABC game.
Okay. Oh, he's fine then. I was hurt. I was.
No, he's
If
gonna
it's
be on
11
national TV.
a.m., that's
No, he's good.
yeah. 11 a.m. You get a sleepy lane.
2:30 in Atlanta.
Is it in Falcon Stadium?
No,
Or
it's
is it
in
Georgia Tech.
It's in Georgia Tech's stadium. I forget. Is it Bobby Dodd or something Dodd Stadium?
It's the old. Is it not the old Brave Stadium?
Oh.
No,
Is it
that's
not Turner
No,
Field?
they have their own
That's
field.
Georgia State.
They got their own stadium.
Georgia State, Georgia Tech, Ole Miss.
Both in
20.
like downtown Atlanta.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah.
And then,
I mean, I remember watching I remember watching the wide receiver at Georgia,
George
Pickens
Pickens,
getting thrown out the
swilling.
game. Yeah, it was swilling at that game, and it looked like a high school stadium. He was playing. That's why he had to miss the first half of the SEC championship.
That man was throwing hands like he was in high school.
I mean,
like,
he was throwing
setting,
bro.
yeah.
So I like Ole Miss minus the 17 at Georgia Tech tomorrow. I'm definitely going to play that one. I'll take Mississippi State minus the 2.5 just to put a little cookie on it.
You should bet on Ole Miss the rest of the season. They have the easiest schedule in the SEC, basically. Ole Miss.
Oh, okay.
I smell food.
I do too.
Gonna start betting Ole Miss.
But my big play of the weekend is Texas Tech. I like Texas Tech.
Wait, who are they playing?
Who's their coach?
Plus 10. I have no idea. I have no idea.
Who are they playing?
I'm going
You don't know
on.
that either?
Yeah, I do know. I have to look it up because I forgot. Now that you're asking me,
Who's their coach? Who are
I
they
think
playing?
I think they're playing North Carolina. No, they're playing NC State. They're playing NC State. That's right. They're playing NC State. And I'm using kind of the transitive property here.
Who's playing NC State?
Texas Tech.
Oh,
yes.
NC State's gonna win that game.
They're gonna win that game,
Yeah.
but 10 points is a lot of points. Bro.
NC State's pretty good, coach.
They're okay, man. Did you watch the East Carolina game? Open
East Carolina's good.
You know, huh?
Yeah, East Carolina's
They
good.
are good. They are good. But I mean,
it's two good football teams.
It was two good teams, but I mean, I think NC State was a little overrated than what we thought they were going to be going into the year.
13
right?
in that game?
Right? I mean, they were a lot of people like dark horse playoffing them into the Final Four.
All right, Desmond Howard.
Right.
Three of his 4 lost the first week.
But I like Texas Tech plus the 10. Texas Tech just by transitive property. Houston, a deceiving score. That game was not as much of a gap as it looks like. It kind of ran away at the end. I think Texas Tech can score points, and I like them in the spot. I think 10 points is way too much.
Talking
in the game.
If you want to talk gambling, does Mac Johnson maybe getting the start for A&M sway what you think about the A&M Miami game?
I saw the
What do
game.
y'all think
I
about
saw the
that?
spread went up.
Did y'all talk about
Went
that
the other
already?
way?
It was gone
Y'all
from
didn't?
6.5 to 7.
Is it just me in the Max Johnson camp that is absolutely amazed by what he did last year under the LSU offense that had no semblance of an identity at all?
No, I'm
and he
with you.
threw, 35 touchdowns?
27.
27 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, 6 interceptions, something like that?
It was close.
Like, he didn't have the chance to succeed at all and still was able to find a way. I feel like if you take Haynes King out of that, who probably returned a little bit early from that injury, wasn't able to really ever get settled. You put Max Johnson in hey, just go win the game. Like, go do exactly what you do. He game manages. People want to cite the UCLA play a lot where he threw it behind his back.
I was just about to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean that shouldn't happen, but he almost completed it. But that's
To the defense.
Yeah, but that's dude. What are we doing here? I'm trying to make a play to win the game because we're down and we shouldn't be. And so I feel like if you surround him with the talent that A&M has, it could be what LSU was last year, where he kind of sneaky gets some wins for you, and we don't know what Miami is at this point under a new head coach.
Yeah, that's the only thing that makes me nervous.
Well, I feel like
That
Max
offense
Johnson
is-
can keep you on schedule. If you protect him,
That
he knows
offense
where to go
is
with the football.
Les Miles-esque.
It is.
I'm
It's
excited
so
for him.
behind the time.
Run the football
I
play
cannot
action,
believe
two-man route.
how
I don't know what he's doing either. But Max
Just
Johnson at least wouldn't panic.
stuck.
It's
Jimbo
stuck.
Fisher's offense.
He's regressed.
He's gotten
In 2000, with
it's
Rohan, that's
exactly-
what we're
I mean,
supposed
like,
to be doing.
Les Miles. I mean, like when he was here, like behind the door, like him and Les Miles were at each other's throat because he was like, "What are we running?" And he's running almost the same exact thing. It feels like that type of offense where it's just like stuck. You can't get it moving. There's no creativity. There's no big playmaker. There's no game breaker. There's just not this scheme that you look at and you say, wow, I mean, that's just, he's creating mismatches. I mean, it just the things that he was good at just,
And maybe
just
that's-
not, it doesn't fit. It just doesn't look right.
And maybe it's a better question for probably Caskey's Clicker, but maybe they don't have the horses right now that know.
Maybe.
Because when, at least on Mic'd Up, which we've talked with Jared Mitchell about, with Jimbo and with Les, under both, he's like, they put in the guys that knew every position possible. You weren't going to have somebody out there that didn't know what they're doing. You talk about an influx of talent as freshmen coming into A&M. Maybe they can't line up at every spot, so he's putting guys out there that aren't game breakers, but at least we know what we're doing on the outside, and he's trying to simplify everything. I have no clue, because I thought of Jimbo as he's always been a very what would you call it, like a professional style offense, like a pro style offense.
Yeah, definitely. Pro
but he's
style.
always had like wrinkles in there to where like, all right, they're going to stretch the field, they're going to take shots. This looks like a shell of an offense of what Jimbo has ever run.
Most concerning thing about Jimbo here lately is the development of his quarterbacks. I mean, everywhere he was, he could develop quarterbacks. Whether it was Rohan, Jamarcus, whether it was
Christian Ponder,
Christian
EJ
Manuel, he made first-round picks into. I mean, those guys they got no business being on a roster, much less being first-round picks. And a lot of that was all Jimbo. And now to see, there's not been a quarterback that's really gotten. I mean, Kellen Mond is. I mean, if that's who you're trying to sell me on,
that's a riddle that nobody can
solve. The Minnesota
solve.
Vikings saw him for a week and were like, "Get out of here."
That's
man.
enough.
That's.
All right.
Well, what's
kidding me?
Miami looking like though? Does anybody even know?
Miami's pretty good this
Yeah,
year.
well, I mean, Miami.
yeah.
This could be a big.
Swing year. New coach.
This is
I'm
where
gonna bet on
Miami's
this
trying to announce that they're back.
Yeah, I know.
And
But
this
are
would do
they?
it.
The U is back.
I mean, they'll beat A&M, right? I mean,
What's the
based
spread?
7. A&M's favored by 7. But I mean, A&M's got. This is a great spot for Miami.
Yeah.
This is a sweet spot for Miami going into a place where the home team is kind of got their backs up against the wall. They're very much like going through a quarterback change. The week of the game. That's one thing you don't want to be doing going into a big game. If you're Texas A&M announcing that that they're going to be doing that they're going to be playing the game without. They're switching the quarterbacks. I know. I'm so distracted by this food, bro.
I'm just like,
I can't believe Miami's catching 6.5.
Well, their big playmaker is it Restrepo, Xavier Restrepo. I think is their big wide receiver.
I think, yeah.
He's not playing. He's not going. He's not making the trip. So
Wait,
I mean, I'm
why?
not saying that swings at 4 or 5
No,
points,
it
but I mean,
shouldn't.
you're taking their big playmaker. And he's not going to be there for Miami now.
What's up with him?
I don't know if it was an injury or it might have been. I think I don't.
I mean,
I don't
that's
wanna
Vegas
speak
trying
out
to
of
tell
turn.
you something. Either they're super stubborn on A&M and they don't want to give up exactly kind of what they're thinking of how their like either win total is going to be or what they projected A&M to be. But I would imagine this would be much closer to like 2.5, 3 than 6, 6.5, 7.
I mean, really, it's kind of a money line play.
That's what I'm saying. I would grab you have
That's what I'm gonna do.
that's the way to do it is just go Miami money line and take your chances. If you get blowed out, who cares?
Yeah,
But
right.
if it's close, you got a shot.
I agree. I'm with you. I don't get this number's kind of stinky. I mean, it kind of has been since earlier this week. I get the concept of it, the philosophy of it, of just a brutal loss for A&M last week. May have been looking ahead is what Vegas could be thinking, to this game when they, have all these horses and guys that can run, and then you just kind of unleash them on Saturday, and they might be a touchdown better than Miami. I don't see that. I do not see that. In fact, if I was to play this game, I would play the money line of Miami to win it.
It's either that or it's just a straight
what
up
I'm
Vegas
doing.
stinky
Miami's-
cheese, dude, where they're like, here, take the 6.5. A&M rolls out 42-14, and you're like, oh,
Miami
I had no
was
clue.
struggling with Southern Miss last week.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
10
I'm
to
not.
7.5.
What's that?
10 to 7.5
Miami?
against Southern Miss.
They're
What was
looking
it?
ahead, though.
That was last week.
Okay.
But they ended up blowing them out, right?
Yeah, looking
Of
like they're
course.
pulling away right here.
Miami
30 to
first
7
half.
now.
Miami first half bet.
What's the spread? If
probably
it's
gonna be like
7, it's probably
3.5.
like 3.5.
This
yeah.
guy.
Well, I'm just saying, if they, I mean, Max Johnson, new offense, starts a little slow. Let's see what we're doing. Miami wants to get out quick.
Slow offense anyway.
One thing that will be cool tomorrow to take in if you go to the
3.5.
game, 3.5 spread. One thing that'll be cool if you go to the game tomorrow is that they will be honoring the 2011 team. It's
really?
crazy that it's been a decade.
Is Les
already.
Miles coming back?
Stop.
I don't.
What if he
know.
did?
I mean, hey, back in the town.
I mean, he was the coach.
Why wouldn't he, right?
Back in the town.
Why wouldn't he?
What's up, ladies?
But surely there would have been like rumors of that by now. People would have been talking about him coming back to town.
Les keeps a low pro.
I don't know.
Yeah, you think? Why?
Has anybody gone to Voodoo Barbecue yet?
Yeah.
Just go up the stairs, knock on the door.
While we're
but
still
You're right
talking-
here.
Can we talk about Caesars for a little bit before we get off of betting?
Yeah.
We have a new code. So for anybody signing up new and you want to scan our QR code, the new promo code is JCFULL, JCFULL. But for those of you who are looking for
JCFU what?
FULL, JC Full. I know that those of y'all have been looking for things of people that are already current betting clients, and you've been looking for other things to do. You can do other promotions. You're receiving emails, and if you haven't looked at, go check your junk for your Caesars email. They're sending an opt-in option for the Tennessee versus LSU game on October 8th. All you have to do is click the opt-in button on that email that you receive, and you're entered to win tickets to that game. So, but you can keep doing it. Every bet you place gets you more entries. So go to that email, push the opt-in button. You can earn more entries by betting college football from now through October 2nd, and then they do the drawing on October 3rd for those tickets. So if you haven't been seeing Caesars Sportsbook Louisiana emails come in, go and remove those from your junk mail.
Check your junk.
There are always boosts in there and other opt-ins that you can get into for current betting clients. But for new ones, scan our QR code and use the code JCFULL.
Make sure to hit that like button, share button, comment button. We'll be back with more of the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet.
St. James is always good, and now they get Prion in. So you wanted to get back into St. James. You had Jones come, you lose Preston, now you get Prion. That's a good school to have a foot into. They've shaken up the staff a bit, so I'm excited to kind of see what they've got this year. But in terms of Prion, he's ranked everywhere as an athlete. I mean, LSU has recruited him at receiver, so that might put an end to the receiver run here. You've got 4 guys, and Kyle Parker and Jalen Brown from outside the state, Shelton Sampson, and now Prion inside the state. I guess you could take more. They only have like 8 scholarship receivers on the roster right now. It's like 8 good guys, but they're not as deep as you normally would be. So maybe they go beyond 4. But very good start for Cortez Hankton at the position. And I think a lot of people are, coaches and fans alike, are eager to see Prion as a senior because he's been at Ascension Catholic, which is 1A, I think. So a big jump up in classification and competition, playing at St. James and down in the River Parishes. I think it'll be interesting to see. He's going to return some kicks and punts and see kind of where they put him on each side of the ball, but receiver is going to be what everybody's watching. You had 4 guys there, but they've built on that with a really nice run. We saw them get Paul Mabenga out of Georgia, but Zalance Hurd is big time. Tyree Adams is the number 5 player in the state.
Coach,
and
how impressive.
The number 10 offensive tackle in the country. I'm telling you, people aren't talking about Tyree Adams enough.
I mean,
you get Tyree Adams and Hurd, you're 1-2 punch at offensive just by the rankings definition alone, you'd have the number 3 and number 10 offensive tackles in the country.
Wow. I mean, I had no idea that Tyree Adams was that big and that dominant after watching his highlights last Friday night. I mean, he looks like a pro left tackle.
Were you bundled up by the fire, watch some huddles?
Yeah,
huddled up. Another one of those film sessions?
Yeah. Some sort of fire.
I'm in the recruiting game.
That's cool.
Bro.
So you liked him. He's a beast. I'm telling you.
I just didn't know he was that big. I didn't know he was that physical.
Georgia, Bama, all these other teams were trying to get a foot in the door and trying to swing that one their way. I mean, that was a big pickup for LSU. And Hurd would be too. Never hurts to get.
In a wreck, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys is ready to go to work for you. Come meet your team.
I'm your intake specialist. I coordinate your case and connect you with your attorney and paralegal.
That's us, your legal team. Thanks. And we'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve.
I'm your settlements and disbursement manager, and I'm here to get you paid on time.
I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. Put our team to work today. Just call us.
Get it done.
Do you suffer from chronic dehydration? Are you looking to improve your athletic performance and you need to get over and see our friends over at GoFlow IV? They're located on Jefferson Highway. Easy to find them online at GEAUXFlowIV.com. Make sure and use the promo code Jordy Culotta Show. If you do, they'll take 15% off of your initial visit. Check them out online, GEAUXFlowIV.com. Best athlete to come out of New Iberia, Mark Roman?
Kayshawn Booty.
Kayshawn? Wow.
Right now, Kayshawn, Mark was a little bit before me. I was a ball boy. When Mark was playing at New Iberia Senior High School, I played like right after Mark. But Kayshawn just has done some things, and just the things that you guys are seeing Kayshawn do, that he's not even scratching the surface of what we saw on a day-to-day basis at practice. And he's unreal. He's unreal.
He's so natural. It's so so easy. It looks so easy to him.
Yes, it's so easy, and there's never been another a competitor I've ever seen like Kayshawn. Kayshawn would not lose going to eat pregame meal. He has to be the first. He is the ultimate competitor. He would not lose. So trust me, he will be ready.
We love the crew over at Fresh Chef Kitchen. Chef Shane and his crew dropping off the meals every Monday here to FM Digital Media, whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner. Me or the crew's going through our meals over at Fresh Chef Kitchen. Their weekly pre-order, freshly made meals, or you can walk into the cooler over there on Airline Highway. They have that fresh, same service over there at Fresh Chef Eats. FreshChefEats.com is where you can find them online. Fresh Chef Kitchen. Tell them you heard it right here on the Jordy Culotta Show. I was embarrassed about my smile. Are you unhappy at yours? Do you not smile back at yourself? I called my friend, Dr. Spillers, over at Johnson Spillers. He fixed my smile, and now everywhere I go, people are complimenting it after the work that Dr. Spillers and the staff did to my mouth. They can do it to yours. Get in touch with them. JohnsonSpillers.com. 2 locations, one in Gonzales, one in Baton Rouge. Easy to find them, JohnsonSpillers.com. Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check them out online at redsticksports.biz. Do you suffer from chronic dehydration? Are you looking to improve your athletic performance and you need to get over and see our friends over at GoFlow IV? They're located on Jefferson Highway. Easy to find them online at GEAUXFlowIV.com. Make sure and use the promo code Jordy Culotta Show. If you do, they'll take 15% off of your initial visit. Check them out online, GEAUXFlowIV.com. Welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. I just bet all of my money that I had in the Caesars Sportsbook Bank account. I'm playing the board here this weekend.
The whole board?
Just getting started on them, boys. I took the Miami Hurricanes money line.
Gotta have it.
Sprinkled a little there. Took the Kansas Jayhawks.
I love this version of Jordy.
Me too.
Plus 8.5 at Houston tomorrow. Got the Nevada Wolfpack, who I'm following my boy Stephen Miller down a trail here. I think he's right. Nevada catching 24 points against Iowa. If you have not either read, seen, or heard about the Iowa offense, you have to do that to believe it.
Please look it up.
I mean, like, some of the numbers on this are like, they average like 1.5 yards a play. Like, I mean, like, it is Les Miles on steroids offense.
Did you see the Bob Stoops cameo?
Yes.
Where he got
he's
duped.
He's urging.
Sometimes best to break away from your family.
Right.
What?
So the head coach at Iowa, Kurt Ferenc,
hired his brother.
No, he hired his son. Is the offensive coordinator.
Oh,
Really?
God.
Yes.
Can you
We're
do
talking
that?
about nepotism.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It is
It's
weird.
called nepotism.
Yeah.
And he won't
Philosophy.
do anything with him. And Iowa's offense. And here's the deal. This would piss me off if I was an Iowa
What do you mean
fan.
you won't do anything with him?
He won't move him. He won't fire him. The
Really?
offensive numbers are. When I'm telling you, like it would make Les Miles LSU's offense look like the air raid. I mean, like
That's an
it
awkward
is.
spot to be in.
Pull up Iowa's offense. Pull up Iowa offensive numbers and take a look and just listen to how bad they are. And the thing that would piss me off if I was an Iowa fan is that their defense is like championship level good. Like they score a touchdown a game. Like they'll create something. Like I guarantee you they score against Nevada.
Do you want to hear some Iowa offensive
Give me some
overall
Iowa offensive numbers.
overall statistics through how many games? Have we played 2?
Yeah.
How many D1 teams are there? Is it 120?
I don't know.
They are dead last in the majority of these
I was
stats.
about to say points per game. You want to take a guess as to how much they're scoring? 7.
7 points a game, and they're favored by 24 tomorrow. So I mean, just by that math alone, they can't score 24 points to beat you by 24.
Why are they favored by 24?
I have no
then?
idea, but I'm back to my bets. I'm putting everything on Nevada. What else on the numbers?
I mean, it gets worse.
It's unbelievable. They score 7
Steven
points a
says
game.
there are
Yards
more
per
family
game.
Members on the staff too.
Yards per game.
150.
150 yards per game. 150 yards per game.
Now this is courtesy of TeamRankings.com, so don't take me for verbatim. I didn't do I didn't put it in the Excel sheet. That's just the value and rank of Iowa's offense. So 7 points a game, 150 yards a game, points per play, which is you could do that math. 0.1.
Oh.
They played
yards per play 2.9.
They played Iowa State
sorry
last
for
week,
him.
and they showed a graphic of the punter, and he had 10 punts the game before.
That's sad, y'all.
No, it's not sad.
Kurt Ferenc is getting paid though.
Yes, he's getting
Go
paid.
back to
He's
the
getting
guy,
paid
to the
to make
coach's
these-
Yes,
son.
he's getting
so
paid.
what's the story with that? He
What?
just has his son on staff,
Yeah.
and he's not firing him, even though they're taking.
They're gonna figure it out
He didn't
together.
have to listen to anybody
Yeah.
in Iowa. Think about it. I mean, he had a racist weight coach that just hung around for like 20 years, like 15 years, and nobody ever said anything. This guy was walking around like throwing the N-word around like it was just a normal day, and nobody was doing anything to him. And
Iowa-
like players were like, "Yo, coach, I mean."
You can't say that.
Yeah, what's the deal, man? And like he was like, I'll issue a statement. You know what I mean? Like he's still got his job, got a raise.
And
Yeah,
guess who hired the strength coach for one day?
Urban.
Meyer. he announced 15 hires and he was one of them, and everybody in the locker room was like, "Fuck that dude! Like he's not coaching here." And he's like, "We've decided to part ways with insert strength coach."
I remember.
They were like, Herb, you don't even swing around here, so why would we let him walk
Right.
around here?
Y'all want to go to the chop house together? Start knuckling up with girls?
Why is this allowed to keep going on?
Because it's nepotism. This is football.
Because nobody has the nuts in Iowa to sit down Kurt Ferenc, the dad, and say, "Hey, Kurt, if you don't fire your son, you're going to be in trouble with your job." Nobody has, everybody's so scared to death.
He's like the Jerry Jones of Iowa.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's like,
they're waiting until he dies.
I mean, he's just, look at these Iowa numbers, dude.
Coach,
total offense through 2 games, 316 yards.
Listen to that. Iowa points per game, and this is their national rank. These are the offensive numbers. Iowa points per game, 7 points a game, which is nationally ranked 131st in the country. Iowa's passing, they are averaging 100 yards a game, which is nationally ranked 127th in the country. They are averaging 57 yards on the ground in their rushing game, which is 127th ranked in the country. Their completion percentage is 44% per game, which is ranked 126th in the country.
What were they like last year? Was it
They
just
were good.
as bad? They were good.
They couldn't have been that good.
Not good.
No, they had a
but
great
they're
offensive
better
line.
than
They were
us.
able to run the ball. I think they won 8 games.
Moral of the story,
Really?
take Nevada plus the points tomorrow in this game, or take the under, because the fact that Iowa is favored by 24 points, they can't score 24.
Well, what's up with Nevada?
They must be
terrible.
Really, really bad.
Like, how could they be worse than that, though?
I don't know, man. I don't know. But I'm betting against that.
Yeah.
You
They
know
went
what I mean?
10-4 last year.
Who,
Nevada?
Iowa.
Well, they're always good.
That's what I'm saying. They're not scoring points, but
They're
they're
always
not bad.
good.
23rd year for Kirk Ferentz.
They have a defense. Like they have.
Oh, their defenses.
Their defense is like championship level good. I'm telling you, their defense is going to score tomorrow.
Their defense had like, I'm watching the highlights from the Iowa State game, and they had like 3 picks, and it's 7-3.
Well, maybe they're changing something up tomorrow we don't know about.
And that's what but our boy Hunter Fournette in the chat has been all over the Iowa under.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so I'm riding with you, dog.
I mean,
I'm with you.
What is it, 39 and a half?
39 and a half. I got it up to 41.
You could play
just
that
in
game
case.
for a week, and they may not get to 39 and a half.
So I'm with you. I mean, I'm not even gonna be mad if it ends up in the wrong column. But I mean, thank you for putting us on it, because this Iowa offense is 7 points a game it's nearly impossible.
abysmal.
I could figure out maybe one play to get you 7.
Doubt. I mean, or at least we could get a scoop and score. You
Something.
know what I mean? Like fumble it into the end zone or something.
They lost their center. He was a big deal last year.
Hey, coach, is he worth? Was he worth 14
He was
points a
pulling,
game?
and he was moving out there.
All right, Josh is here. It smells like he's like cooking like crack cocaine in there.
That would be awesome.
It smells like beans and meat to me.
What
Is it beans
what
and
are
meat?
I do like how we go off the smell.
What are we eating? Yeah,
Pork.
it smells
Pork.
incredible.
Crack cocaine.
I saw Josh and his lady moving around the tailgate last week. We'll ask him about his experience in Tiger Stadium. We'll talk a little bit about the 2011 team that will be honored tomorrow inside Tiger Stadium. All of that coming up. Compliments of our friends over at Iverstein's. Make sure and get over to iversteinsfarms.com. Click on the Butcher Bundle and you can get your delivery. And we will be eating next. Come back with us. Go Chevrolet, drive with us every day. Hit that like button, share button, comment button.
Nevada lost Incarnate Word last week.
Donaldsonville Glass and Body, the trusted name in frame, body, and automotive paint repair since 1977. They have served their customers for over 45 years. You can find them online at dgbauto.com or stop in and see them Railroad Avenue and Division Street out in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Look, they can help you with your insurance claims. They can make the repair process as stress-free as possible. I'm speaking from experience here. I've got numerous windshields, body repair, all done by Kenny and the crew over at Donaldsonville Glass and Body. They are, without question, the most well-equipped shop in the area. Stop in and see them today. Shop them online, dgbauto.com, or stop in and see the crew over in Division Street in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Donaldsonville Glass and Body.
We're all from different places and backgrounds. We've each experienced our own versions of life, but in the end, we're all on the same team. I'm part of that team, along with these players in purple and gold.
Kayshawn Buddha, Malik Neighbors, Miles Frazier,
Kyron Lacey, Greg Brooks. Whether on the field or in the courtroom, your team matters.
So join our team, make a difference. Bet. Let's get it done.
Best athlete to come out of New Iberia, Mark Roman.
Kayshawn Buddha.
Kayshawn? Wow.
Right now, Kayshawn, and Mark was a little bit before me. I was a ball boy when Mark was playing at New Iberia Senior High School. I played like right after Mark, but Kayshawn just has done some things, and just the things that you guys are seeing Kayshawn do, that he's not even scratching the surface of what we saw on a day-to-day basis at practice. And he's unreal. He's unreal.
He's so natural. It's so so easy. It looks so easy to him.
Yes, it's so easy, and there's never been another a competitor I've ever seen like Kayshawn. Kayshawn would not lose going to eat pregame meal. He has to be the first. He is the ultimate competitor. He would not lose. So trust me, he will be ready.
Man, so kind of when I entered the transfer portal, I knew, what type of facility, what type of, program I wanted to go to. Being that before I committed to Ohio State, my first unofficial was to LSU.
Oh, wow.
And but that was when Coach O and Coy Raymond was here or whatever. But definitely the coaches, the scheme Kelly, trying to bring in, trying to implement, his way of going, like detailed person. That's where I wanted to be. I know I want to be.
Did you have any experience with Coach Kelly?
No, I had no experience. No.
Really? Who was your main recruiter from LSU?
Sherman Wilson. Yeah, he was, stay consistent, honest, just gave it to me straight.
Yeah.
And this is where I wanted to be.
Going for, but
it's awesome. Welcome back. The Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. Compliments every Friday of our friends over at Iverstein's. We got some breakfast tacos here, some tailgate tacos.
Tailgate tacos.
Take it away, Joshua. I'm going in.
Hey, happy Friday, everybody.
Absolutely.
So
Good to see
today
you,
we're eating a flat iron steak.
Love it.
Just with the basic taco rub that I made myself, but a taco rub, any taco rub will do. Seared in the cast iron, and then just something simple, a little avocado, a little sour cream, and the chimney slaw from Iverstein's kitchen. So
how long do you go each side on the flat?
Man, you usually go about 4 or 5 minutes for a nice
sear.
Yeah, for a nice sear. This is something I'm not going to kind of go totally medium rare on, but it's definitely pink.
I'll think of a worse question later.
I don't even.
That's all right.
I don't even.
I've been waiting,
and I'm like killing this right now.
Yeah, it's
Why are
good.
you not eating?
I'm not a slaw guy, so I didn't want to ditch the slaw in front of him, so I'm gonna take the slaw off and then eat it.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
How are you? But have you ever had this chimney slaw? This isn't just regular coleslaw.
I've had coleslaw one time in my life at a tailgate, and it just did not hit any part of the texture of my mouth that I enjoy. I don't eat fruits or vegetables, ever. So slaw is like all of the vegetables that cabbage.
Yeah. Sound like
what
my
else?
wife. It's
Lettuce.
like I tried one thing once and it was horrible 10 years ago.
Yeah, as long as it wasn't meat.
now I'll never try anything ever again.
Honeymoon sounds like it went great.
I gotta give you that one.
Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, tailgate tacos. I mean, you think about tailgate season
perfect.
and what we have going on, and let's not leave out the tacos. I mean, you don't have to do flat iron sirloin steak, something real cheap and easy, because you're cutting the meat up. You know what I mean? So it isn't like you need to spend. So if you did have a nice tailgate of a dozen people, get a nice little sirloin roast, put that on the grill, cut it up, and just kind of have everyone make their own tacos.
Everybody loves tacos.
Yeah.
Except for Lloyd.
I love
Except for
tacos.
Lloyd, yeah.
After Coach O going, no, what did he do? No fries, no toast, extra slaw.
Yeah.
Off the slaw game.
This doesn't taste like that slaw.
It's not it's not taste, it's texture.
Yeah, okay.
That's not your fault. Yeah, it's not your fault.
People can enjoy the things they enjoy.
That's true.
Exactly.
Dislike the things they dislike.
I still want to force feed slaw to you now. I have an overwhelming urge
We
to
can
do that.
have a bet.
I just saw a quote that was really funny. I'm sure it's been out there, but speaking of Coach O, and I don't know what the interview was for. I don't know if y'all saw this video floating around over the last couple of weeks.
Probably we did.
But the money one, I thought that was probably the best.
That's him.
That's him. It was great, and then it made me really I was shedding tears. Like I kind of miss that bastard. It's like there's always something great right there.
One of us.
I did, yeah. I was like, this is what it is. And now we're stuck with a man who buttons up his polo and wears a visor.
Yeah, and a sports coat.
It's
But it's like Coach O was injected with true serum every day. He couldn't help himself. Like everything I'm going to tell you is just I'm gonna lay it all out there for you. This is what it is. I don't even know how to lie.
Talk to Mike Johnson's daddy.
Dad.
Talk to Garrett Nussbaum's daddy. Talk to all their daddies.
Big Bad Brad.
I wish he'd bring that flair like his suit coats. I wish that was kind of his MO on the sideline. You know,
That would
it's
be
just, like,
awesome.
boring. Yeah.
I
Who
think,
are you talking about?
I
Brian
think
Kelly?
Southern Miss's
Yeah.
coach.
You want him to dress
Did
differently?
that last week.
Who was?
Yeah.
See that
I'm
guy
with you.
try to wear a
It's-
suit
yeah.
in Miami?
He was like,
Sweated through his back, dude.
It was.
That was so gross. You have
looked
coleslaw
like
all over your face, by the way.
Yeah,
all
you
over.
do.
It's just all in your beard.
The mic's covered it.
What did we do in the break?
Oh God. There's mayonnaise on your chin. It's all over your chin, like really messy.
Yeah, you can't go shooting.
You're a messy taco.
No, you can't. But you know, it's like I think we're at that point where it's kind of like you want. Man, I want my football team to have that swag, right? And I want the coach to represent that. I want him coming out with
I get that. I
with
love
that
that.
Lululemon. You know what I mean? Like still wearing the whistle on his thing because he's there. Instead,
Who's
it's
the Miami coach that
I
used
was
to wear
just
the
about.
album?
And then who was the 49ers coach that brought back the suit of it was probably
Mike Nolan. Let's
yeah,
not go
before his
there.
dad.
Yeah, his dad's dad. But now we're stuff wondering. It's like, is this guy coaching football or waiting for a reservation at Superior Grill?
or Iverstein's.
But man, it's great.
How was last weekend?
Last weekend was awesome. I mean, Saturday the college football, Sunday the NFL kickoff was. There's a lot of good football games on Sunday. It's like I think people lost a lot of money or won a lot of money.
Yeah, I think you had to be on the dogs.
Yeah, but it was great, and then a great week. My wife showed me how to cut an avocado, so that's why you're getting a little avocado on your taco today.
I think I might have seen that on your Instagram. Did
Because
you put it
I
on?
know, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It was just like a huge
half it.
Yeah, just
knife
kinda,
it.
Yeah,
pull it out.
Yeah.
Talking about like de-seeding it?
Well, I think
It's
it's
got
a
a
pit,
pit.
but
You mean did
Idiot.
you like stab the pit with a knife and then pull that out?
I've done that. Like I
Okay.
saw that on because my whole world's like, oh man, what the hell? So I'm eating avocado on fried egg sandwiches, and the kid is getting wonderful avocado snacks with
Yeah.
lunch, and just opened up the whole game for me.
Yeah.
So it's been a big week in the household.
Big
Learned a lot.
avocado week.
Yeah.
I love it.
I went
Big
through
week.
2
Learned
bunches
how to cut an
already.
avocado. Got that pit out.
She's probably like, God damn it. Avocado again.
And I got a friend text me. She's like, you're embarrassing yourself. I'm like, sorry. This is kind of an exciting time for me. I've gone like almost 40 years with not knowing how to cut an avocado.
So is that why you never used one? You're like, I don't even know how to approach this thing.
And I've really enjoyed avocado guac. And I'm like, oh man, that just looks like a whole.
I don't want to embarrass myself.
Yeah, it's like dragon fruit, right? It's like it looks so. You're like, oh. But you have someone that you're like, oh man, this is.
Are you going to wash your face?
Yeah, wash up. It looks.
Doctor? Dr. Culotta,
you
you
have
did it.
dragon fruit. It's like, oh man, it's so good. But then you go to the store and you look to get a dragon fruit, and you're like, I'm not.
I know.
I'll just starve.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I've always kind of been with avocado.
Kind of like a pomegranate too, where it's
Yeah,
just like,
exactly.
where do I start with this
pomegranate
thing?
juice, like the whole.
It's
Oh man,
difficult.
it's so good, but you never
It is
gonna
so
want to.
good.
Deal
My
with
daughter
it.
eats
People
the
eat it, you're
seeds.
like the.
I know.
It's like, what are you
forever.
What is that?
And then you have to
Eat
spit.
pomegranate.
I actually don't have to, but you have to. I don't
You
like
can swallow.
the speed. The seed. I don't like that seed. It's bitter.
Mm.
I like the juice and then take.
She doesn't
the
swallow
seed
the
out.
seed.
No, I'm
Napkins?
good.
Anyone else?
I'm good.
Good. Until I take
You
my
did,
foot.
yeah. You had a bite. I'm happy. For
I
you.
have. I've had
Yeah.
many bites.
Good.
She's back. She's all she's natural now.
She is a game leader.
Yeah.
That's why she's not.
I was gonna say, wow.
Game day. Game day.
It's like all of a sudden we
meal.
skipped over the whole
Yeah.
season and it's baseball season.
That's right.
All right, that's cool.
What's going on at Iverstein's game day weekend?
Game day weekend, yeah. So I'm here, kind of giving you ideas for tailgates and things that you can do. Not just tailgate, but hey, it's first SEC weekend, right?
Hell yeah.
This is probably next to the opener, probably our biggest. Hopefully, it's packed.
Oh, it will be.
It will be.
Yeah.
You going?
No. I think no.
He's got to police the streets. There's too many people
Yeah,
out
you
there
gotta
trying
save
to
lives.
carjack. He's
I
got
think
a
I'm-
night job.
Well, no. What I think is because I've already been planning this. I think I'm going to smoke a Thor's hammer.
I'm in.
Me too.
What is that? What's a Thor's
I'm in. I don't know what that is, but I want it.
I don't know what that is, but I'm in.
It's a piece of meat.
Where'd you get it from?
Oh,
Okay.
I thought you really. I thought that was a type of.
How many
joint,
ounces?
Like a really big joint.
Do I need to go in half with you?
I was like, man, you just put that right out there.
How much are we putting?
Can't even light this thing on my own.
I got 5 on it.
But now,
buy in?
now I
I'm
can take
picturing like
all-
this huge thing, like we're all getting in on
I mean,
it.
I know,
just like
like, now that I can take all your money,
stand over it.
I'm gonna go home and mix some.
Like that video I sent you. Like
What?
the video. That video I sent you. Just put it on. Put it on.
You pull that up. That's what he
You got the torch.
Hey, what really is a Thor's hammer? It's meat.
Jordy, I'm in.
I like it. Yes,
It's
it is
meat.
a cut of meat. It is
Okay.
a beef shank.
Okay.
Left on the actual bone.
Does it look like a
Yeah,
hammer?
it looks like a hammer. 'cause
Is
you
it like
have
a tomahawk?
No, so your shanks are going to be round. It's the leg of the cow.
Oh, so this is like the sandwich where they like, I've seen this on Instagram where they put the beef shank in the sandwich, put the bread over it, then pull the bone out.
What a
That's
move.
weird.
You can do that. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of ways. So I'm thinking it's like a
Juicy.
Yeah, it's like a
Juicy.
12-hour kind of barbecue rub beer, sort of.
Outside day.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Cool.
So
Should we
it's
stop
like,
by or?
Sure.
His face is like.
I really don't want to be.
Show everybody my hammer.
I don't really want to share the Thor's hammer.
Gosh. Okay. Yep. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. So probably not the game, but I think it'd be a good time. I hope. Are you guys going?
I think we go.
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
I'm going.
Well, you're
definitely gonna
coming
be
from
there.
a standpoint of like, hey, finally 9 years that you've been,
What?
Waiting on a win.
waiting on a win. From,
That's
yeah.
not accurate, but okay.
So, well, Dak couldn't even beat us. So,
What?
Oh, Dak did.
It's not
beat us.
accurate.
No,
Okay.
I think
that's
we need
the
to
last
go back
time
to the
I
record books.
Okay, it wasn't.
Yeah.
That's what I was
the only
thinking.
one.
I was like, I was trying to go back and forth.
That's what I thought. That's what I
But I
thought.
think it was Dak single-handedly beat
I
us.
get
I
it.
think, yeah. And I
Brandon
think
Harris.
he came back to beat us, didn't he?
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
LSU
And
almost
then
came back to win, right?
It always is like that,
It
though.
was
Malachi
that was a
Dupree.
good
That's what we were
game.
talking about
Yeah, I
earlier.
remember standing up
Brandon
watching.
Harris.
Couple more
being
yards,
Who
coach.
is
It's
this?
always super close.
Who is this? This is the first time I heard about Dak.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy crap.
We were supposed to play tight end at
Yeah, Les wanted to
LSU.
play tight end.
No, he's
And then
former
yeah.
starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys.
When is Les gonna stop making it into our conversations? Do you
Never.
think One day ever.
Never.
He lives rent free in my
He
head.
really
As long as
does.
I'm here, I will always dump
He
on
really
him.
does.
I like that, but yeah, that's great. That's a good call.
Were you
but,
here during Les? Were you here during Les Miles' day?
Oh yeah. The final two.
Mm-hmm.
Did I tell you that it was like my first year? And that was what playoff Lenny's junior year or second to last year, where we went off and I think we were 6-0 or 7-0, and then
Went to Bama.
went to Bama, got beat, went to
Ole
Arkansas,
Miss.
Arkansas, Ole
got
Miss.
beat, Ole Miss got beat.
Arkansas came here and beat us.
Yeah,
And Ole Miss got beat. Yeah,
And
that
you're
was a
like,
tough
what?
season.
So that was the season, and it was like afterwards they were like, Les has been here. What do you think about Les? And I've been on campus for all of like 6 months, and I'm like, fire that mother out. You know what I mean? Like,
And you were talking to Les Miles.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know about this guy. Like I'd been here and watched him for 10 seasons. But I think they apprecited my passion. I
No
think
doubt.
That's what she said.
I mean, at that
appreciate your
point,
passion.
bro.
Yeah, can't quote you on that.
He
but,
was the all-time worst.
But yeah,
You can't help yourself.
it was
the worst.
And then the next season, of course. But that's gonna be great.
He got his victory tour.
Yeah, victory.
Yeah,
tour.
they-
I wonder if
Carried
he'll be
him
there
on
tomorrow.
retirement.
No way they bring you back.
No
tomorrow.
way.
No way.
That
No
man
way.
is
I
in
mean,
a
he's in a
hole
lawsuit.
from yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's no
can't
way.
be in public. What's he gonna? Dude, okay, talk about all-time
Yeah.
cucking of Brian Kelly. Your first SEC night game. Les Miles comes out in the hat, eats a little bit of grass, and be like, "Oh, I kind of." LSU fans, and
Yeah,
they always
right.
have a soft spot for
I think
him.
he'll probably
Pinching
be
some staffer's ass on the
Right,
field
yeah,
or something.
He's got to be like the one person from 2011 that nobody's missing.
No, yeah. I mean, really, if 2011 would have had everybody but him, they'd have won. I mean, really. All right, don't get me going. Hit that like button, the share button, comment button. Have a great weekend. Make sure you sign up for the Butcher Bundles, which you can find online at iversteinsfarms.com. Check them out on game day. What time are we opening up tomorrow morning? 5 o'clock kickoff. We open up at 8 a.m. on Saturdays?
Yep. Come in,
we'll roll
get
with
your
it.
meat. We're plenty stocked.
Get your meat
Get
here.
your meat.
New ramen.
Yeah, ramen in the freezer. I was looking at you like you were asking another dumb freaking question.
Yeah.
But then I remembered that we do have ramen in the freezer. So I'm bracing that a little bit.
And
My bad, bro.
No
My
worries,
bad.
no worries. And I talked to Galen the other day, Galen Iverstein, and you said that the Saints bundles have been popping off for people that want to be able to, because obviously Baton Rouge is not going to make it to every Saints game, but being able to take home and have a little something in the kitchen for the people. The Saints has been like
What's
for
the
Sundays.
Saints bundle?
Well, no, people have just been going in instead of doing like the tailgate bundle for LSU
okay.
games. It's probably like for some people it's easier to cook at home. So they go to Iverstein's, get a little bundle for the Saints games.
That's
I came prepared today. I feel like I've been disappointing you.
I love tailgating. I think that atmosphere is so much fun. You know, if you have a tailgate.
Maybe we need to start a show tailgate and you're the chef at it.
And they, like that could be a lot of fun.
Just bring Thor's hammer.
That's right.
Bring those
Thor hammers. I'm gonna drop the hammer.
We gotta smoke those hammers.
But there's something fun about being at your house with a group of friends and people, and it's like you can have a nice spread. And
nothing better than a house party.
That's all not nice. You got other friends coming, and you're like, y'all can't come. This is embarrassing.
Well, yeah.
My real friends are there.
Yeah. So this would be exciting for you. I don't know what's the spread for Saturday.
2.5. Mississippi State favored by 2.5.
Mississippi State favored by 2.5.
So I just gave y'all LSU by 3.
Yeah.
By that half
You think
point?
so?
By that half point?
Field goal.
I wonder how
might
many
change when I
people
wake up in the
people
morning.
are back on if we beat Mississippi State. I don't see it happening, but that could be like a total season.
Everybody's
game
back
changer.
on for at least a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, at that point, whoever left.
Yeah.
We're still, we're all just kind of holding on to the boat.
Told you so.
Yeah.
Well, I went from 6 wins. Now I'm at 3. So we'll see.
Ooh.
Gosh.
Okay.
I don't think we beat it. I mean, the way we looked at
you got to beat New Mexico
and UAB.
UAB
and Southern.
You don't
That's
have a win
3.
in one conference game.
I just think the way that we showed up against Florida State, SEC is gonna manhandle us this year.
We'll see.
Adjustments. I need to be wrong.
That's why I was negative.
No, that's why I'm not coaching. But hopefully,
better, Coach.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I think we
keep
could
building.
still hit that 6 or 7. But
You'll have people with
We'll
you
see.
if the sky falls tomorrow. There'll be people on the concrete you'll have to scoop up.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, if it is like how you're thinking, if
How
this,
much is
if
Brian
this
Kelly's
spread
buyout?
offense
If it's 42
opens
to
up
10.
and destroys us.
How much is Brian Kelly's buyout?
Yeah.
Right.
Listen,
Tell
this
me
I
right
mean,
now.
you can't do that. That's
Buy
what,
out
95
Brian.
million?
Scott.
90.
He's gone too. I mean, you can't make a mistake
You
on
fired your
95
best
million.
friend? Yeah.
If you make a mistake on 95
Told you
million,
back in the
have
meat
a
shop in
LSU
June, Scott, you weren't going to make it, man. I'm tell you, Coach.
I don't know who you are.
I tried to help you out, bro. But
Look at Mel Tucker up at Michigan State.
if I would have known, I could have been definitely more. It's like, the visor, no. Lululemon, yes.
Yes.
Like, this is where we need to be.
Yes. Mike
But
McDaniel.
hopefully it'll be a good game, a fun game. It's
It will
sad.
be
Then
a
we
lot
got
of fun.
Sunday coming up. I think Tom
whatever,
Brady coming in the dome.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
Another spread, 2.5 point.
I'm betting the
underdog.
Saints on Sunday.
Okay.
Like if I were a Saints guy, because Tom Brady is
Our
horrible.
Saints guy.
Tom
Vikings
Brady's
look great. I
Yeah.
know you're not a Minnesota guy, though.
No,
Vikings.
No, Niners guy, yeah.
Yeah, they looked horrible. Oof.
Bad,
Because
bad weather
last
game.
week I was like, if they lose, it'll be like
Yeah.
Florida State. I was just sitting there at the couch on Sunday. I'm like, oh god, now I got to face these guys on Friday.
Maybe you can get a little something for Jimmy G.
The game was horrible. I mean,
know
they
who
were playing in
You
a
know who I
monsoon.
shopped Jimmy G to? Dallas.
You know I shot
I
Jimmy
thought
G
they
too?
shopped Jimmy G to New Orleans.
His couch.
You put a quarterback that wins, and you put him with Michael Thomas and Landry, Kamara.
Jameis is better than
They
him.
want to know.
Yeah.
Jameis-
Well, Jameis is already questionable, and then you guys
Jameis
are
is
gonna
better than him, though.
Jameis.
You know,
the Jimmy
arm.
G.
you know who?
I will say,
How good would Jimmy G's blue eyes look in a Dallas Cowboys helmet? though?
Oh,
Oh, man.
don't tell that to Jerry.
Wow. Yes.
He's gonna cover him in salt.
Sparkling.
And spank him.
Freaking Jerry.
I thought it would be. I thought at the beginning of the year, I thought it would be New Orleans and Cleveland. I thought would kind of be
Jimmy G?
Yeah.
Well, they were the two fiercest going after Deshaun Watson. Cleveland and New Orleans.
Oh yeah.
So
Saints
it
dodged
kind of
one
tells you
there.
how they feel about their quarterback.
Well, that's kind of what I thought, and for as much as I reg on the guy, I mean, I think that was the Brett Favre, quote last week where he was on the 33rd Team podcast or whatever, and he was talking about, I don't know how you can get rid of Jimmy G. The man wins, and I'm like, God, as a fan, I'm like, I know.
Yeah,
I mean, in his career, we've been to 2 NFC Championship games and a Super Bowl. Bad lean years in between, but the injuries and
hurt.
everything.
Bro, Jimmy G's got the leverage right now.
And yeah.
I mean,
when they re-signed him, because they were like, we're trying to trade him, and then they, he stuck around, and then they re-signed him for the backup, and I was like, this isn't going to go well, because
Well, I think
and
that-
like the game on Sunday, it was like you lose to Chicago, and it's already the media and everything, especially out there. It's
I
like
think they signed him to that with teams like Dallas in mind, like contenders that may lose somebody that you're like dangling Jimmy G.
Yeah.
Like,
First rounder?
throw me that defensive end and a second round pick.
I mean, he went from $25 million to $9 million, so I think he took a cut to stay on the team and be more friendly, I guess is what they're saying, for a trade towards another team. But
we talked about Mike Trout being able to kind of like live underneath the surface of fame. Jimmy G's doing the same thing. Where he's like, give me my $9 million. I'll live in San Francisco. Like, I'm good. I'm not worried. I'm
well, he signed
unbothered.
a big one 3 years ago.
Right, so I'm saying I've got my money. He's not trying to like cause
4
a
years,
ruckus.
$125 million. I mean, that was at the time.
Take it back.
Yeah,
I'm good.
I'll back up.
All right, hit that like button, share button, comment button. Make sure you get over to iversteinfarms.com. Sign up for the Butcher Bundle.
Sign up.
Go get signed up and stop in and pick up your tailgate needs for tomorrow. You can do it today over at Iverstein's over there in Perkins Crossing Shopping Center. Or
come in,
stop
get a little
see them tomorrow
lunch,
morning,
shoulder
8 o'clock.
steaks.
One more time, the carpool queen, if you don't mind, just
Take
kinda
a bow.
walking us out through the room here. A taco later.
You know why I'm wearing this.
Oh, you just think this is kind of game day get up?
Yeah.
She lost a bet. Little
Okay.
You got a full room view there for us?
There we go.
Look at that. Have a great weekend. Hit that like button, share button, comment button.
Aren't you so glad that you did this now and not Saturday?
Yes.